um, so I was laughing at a
I wonder what was that. I don't know. I don't know
it
what that
wasn't even
was.
just that, Rob making noises as we're doing the countdown. I just came across a Fortune 4 tweet and it just, I don't know, I lost it. But anyway, we are live. Recipe is live. Chris O'Bread, Sir Paragraph, better known as Rob, Marcus, good job, Marcus, and myself. And last night was a 4-hour TV marathon by AEW. Again, 2 weeks in a row. And I just want to shout out all the soldiers that made it through live both weeks, especially if you're in the UK, Europe, something like that. Because, bro, last night, the sun, well, this morning, the sun was coming up as Roderick Strong was doing a hot tag and it moved me. I was moved. Roderick Strong, he still got it, 5 in the morning or something like that.
You
But
be getting
yo,
y'all overrun for it too.
that's what I'm saying. Roderick Strong in an overrun of a
Yeah,
4-hour
yeah.
TV taping at
That's
5 in the
Yo,
morning.
I-
I was
Ibu
still
came-
moved, bro.
Ibu came in at like it was like what 10:58 for us, or 11:58 at night for a lot of y'all. He came in at 11:58. And he was like, "Yeah, man, was the show good?" And niggas was like, "Yo, the show's still going." He was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, bro, they went over it."
4 hours is crackhead shit. 2 weeks in a row, 4 hours. Brother, seek help.
Fire, it's fire. Oh,
It was a great show, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, man.
rest of TV is not meant to be 4 hours, bro. It was
Yeah,
a good
not at
little
all,
thing,
bro.
dude.
No,
yeah, I was there for all 4 hours, so I was.
that's what I'm
locked in.
saying. We was locked in, bro. We was locked in. Real soldiers out here, Some people couldn't make it. That whole 4 hour, 8 hours, bro. 8 hours with one little break, one week break in between, But then 4-hour marathons, bro. Don't think anybody in the AEW fan base is gonna be pressuring Tony Khan to be doing that anytime again soon. We said last week, Marcus specifically said last week, that if this was kind of a trial, or not even just a trial, just like if you was kind of if WBD or Tony Khan was kind of looking at this, like, could we push Dynamite to 3 hours? No.
No.
It's dead
No,
that
we
off.
good.
Dead that
If you
off.
want to push it
Yo.
further, 2 hours 15, 2.5 is the maximum I will allow.
Listen. I love the WWE, and I can't stand SmackDown on a 3-hour basis. So I don't want to. If I can't stand SmackDown on a 3-hour basis, I can't have Dynamite on a 3-hour basis. I love the
Bro.
2 hours, little small overrun. You know what I'm saying? I love that on a weekly basis. I'm good off 3 hours wrestling if it's not a pay per
We are
view.
good. Unless it's a pay-per-view, bro, like we good on a Wednesday night.
And speaking of it, we just talked a little bit briefly before we went live, but talking like the format that they've gone with the past 2 weeks has basically just been Dynamite for 2 hours, and then we're gonna do Collision for 2 hours, And I don't know, man. Like a couple of us have spoke before, a couple of us spoke after as well, kind of hoping that they would experiment a bit more with like the format. Like I've mentioned a few times, like hoping that maybe one of the weeks I could have done it like a pay per view. Like you've got the 4 hours, so just kind of, do you know what I mean? Like match, and big main event or something. They could have done that this week with Ospreay and Swerve easily,
Yeah.
but and obviously like a few angles in between because it is still TV and you've got storylines that you want to build. They had some really good angles yesterday. The Death Riders hogtied the Death Riders hogtied our guy Hangman, bro.
Literally.
Shoot
that
hog
guy.
tied
Dead
hangman.
hog
Oh,
tied.
it's
Shoot
crazy.
hog tied hangman, bro.
Fox one of the hog tie people.
Nasty business, and obviously, we the very sad news of Kenny Omega's.
Yo.
Obviously, we're still trying to come to terms with all that happened to our guy, But we're gonna try and muster up the courage to talk about it for you people. You get me? Because that's what we do with professionals, bro. But yeah, man. I think they could have been a bit more experimental with the format because they basically just did what they did last night. Like I did think last night was better. In terms of like how they like paced out the 4 hours and how they did it, it was basically the same thing: Dynamite and then Collision. So hopefully we don't have to have these sort of debates or conversations again because they're not gonna do 4-hour TVs again. Hopefully, so
No, like it did because of hockey playoffs and then the NBA finals was on at the same time when it 8:30. So they're just like, okay, let's just give them an extra couple hours so they can just put some shit on the stat sheet and no one's watching anything on this damn channel past 10 o'clock anyway. So why the hell not?
Yeah, basically, it's very much a why not, you know. But
Respect the weekly Modern Family reruns after Dynamite. What the hell?
No,
you're Rob's definitely a Modern Family kind of guy, isn't it?
Wait,
Oh, yo, that
our
show is
family's on
funny as
TBS
fuck.
now?
That
yeah,
show,
it's syndication over there.
yeah, that show is funny
Oh,
as fuck,
shit.
son.
I don't think it's like a terrible show. It's just like Rob, you're just that kind of guy,
Yo.
you know. It's like,
Oh, don't get me wrong, I love Modern Family. Sophia
There
Vergara.
was this,
yeah, it's not a
Dude.
bad show, bro. At all,
son,
you know?
there's this one bit they did. I don't remember it, but son, I I don't know why, but it popped me so hard. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yo, what?
Modern Family, you
Yeah,
know,
shut-
Rob of Modern Family. But
Shout out to Modern Family.
yeah, man.
Absolutely.
I guess.
But, Dynamite. Yo, I loved last night's episode, big ass long episode of Dynamite in Collision, because it was way better. I think it was way better formatted than last week. I think the way that they set up the matches, and obviously the way they set up the main event angle to go into the next show, I thought that was gas, bro. I thought going in, flowing in from one show to the next show, and all you see is fucking Okada flying off the apron, hitting Kenny Omega with an elbow.
Yo,
All
that
you
shit
see
was
is Kenny
fire. I
Omega-
can't lie.
All you see is Kenny Omega all over the fucking place. Like I feel like that the way they did that, I feel like it's fantastic, bro. Like I never, like, obviously we don't need 4-hour episodes all the time, but I feel like every once in a while, like once every year, I'll accept it. Once every year.
Nah,
Especially
bro.
when you build into a big show like All In. Do some crackhead shit in between. Why not?
Yeah, but not
You
4
gonna have to.
hours. 3 hours, you know. You want to
Yeah, I
do one
feel like
3-hour
3
TV
hours.
show once a year.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
let that slide, but 4 hours, bro, we can't let that slide, bro. As a
I
community,
have to, bro.
Yo,
as a
like,
fan
Unless they
base.
move
bro,
Collision to
Sometimes
Thursday.
if it work, it work.
Like, I'm not watching a 4-hour movie, bro. Like 3 hours is like, and I'm a big movie person. 3 hours is nowadays is low key pushing it. But I'm not watching a 4-hour movie, so I'm not watching 4 hours of like wrestling TV shows. Like, you know what I mean? Even though I thought it was like a really good episode, but like 4 hours is a lot of time.
It's unhinged, bro, and it's like you
I did
feel
see
it through
MX
the
in there
live
for a
crowd as
second,
well.
and I was
so.
like, you know what? Basketball
Avatar
on.
1 is like 3 hours, right? 3 hours and 10 minutes or something like that. And that's a
Something
long
like that.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Godfather
basketball was
Part 2
on
is like
last night.
3.
It didn't seem like a lot of people remembered. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Shout out the
no.
Pacers and the
Come
Thunder.
on, come on. We ain't got.
Literally one of the best series of the 2020s.
Yeah, watch them go 7 games, bro.
You're going to. The script is in.
It wouldn't be shocking. Off 1-7.
Chris seen the script, bro.
Not gonna lie,
That's what he is.
I need Shy and them out of there in 5.
His name is
Not
Shay.
gonna
Get
lie.
his name right.
Whatever. Yo, you almost said he made me say some more there. Whatever that nigga's name is, I need him out of here in 5.
Respect your MVP.
No, that's not my MVP. My MVP is the big Serbian brother. That's my MVP.
Well, you won last year, so
I don't hate the Serbian no more, y'all. I don't. I don't hate the Serbian no more. Ever since he beat the Clippers, I don't hate the Serbian.
What the? Okay.
you are the way your mind works, Rob, is something special. I ain't gonna lie.
No, for
Interesting
I don't know
guy,
what you
Rob
mean.
is, bro. Interesting guy. But
I'm pretty consistent. I don't know what you mean.
Are you?
no, you're not, bro.
you are not.
There's one thing I know about you, Rob. Consistency is not one of those things.
I don't know. I'm pretty consistent. I don't know. That's just
All
me,
over
bro.
the gaff. Yo, but yeah, man, 4 hours. It's a lot, bro. But we made it through. Like I said, shout out everybody that did it. But before we dive in, first things first, please like, subscribe, send any super chats, any questions, any of your takes on 4-hour shows, the Unified Championship, Kenny Omega's unfortunate evening. What else happened? The Arena Mexico card that's coming up as well next week. There's some matches booked on that. Tay J's back. There was a few things to get into, bro. Mercedes was doing her audition for the Food Network again. Mystico and MJF was set up. You had like FTR trying to bully the CMLL legends. We had a lot of stuff, bro. And of course, the 30-minute time limit draw of Ospreay and Swerve. But I do think the biggest thing coming out of Dynamite was probably, most definitely, the announcement of the unification of the International Championship and the Continental Championship taking place at AEW All in Texas in a match between Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada. And before they got into this segment, they played one of the most dramatic, epic video packages I've seen, not just in AEW history, ever, in any form of in any form of entertainment, not even film, cinema, TV, sports, wrestling. Tony Khan was like, "Yo, we are making this. We're making the people feel this one." It's like they got in like the big dramatic like Hollywood narrator and shit. Like they went all out, bro. And
they took some of Blockbuster literally and say, you know what, we're gonna make one about this this rivalry.
When Tony called it the Summer Blockbuster, he had this video package in mind. Like this is what like I can imagine with bookers, every time they put a TV show together or a pay-per-view together, they've got that one angle or match or heel or babyface turn or just like something, that one thing that they want to get off really bad. Like I can't wait for the people to see this one. And I feel like last night it was that. Yeah, literally, like I think last night it was the video package and the Kenny Omega angle. But yeah, man, where would you rank it as far as AEW video packages, Mark? It's got to be up there, hasn't it?
Number one with a bullet by far to me. Like that one, the Kenny Hangman one from Full Gear 2020. I love that one a lot. Does the pre-match video package of the elimination tag from Fight for the Fallen count? Because that's up there.
Yeah, anything
Probably
counts,
up there.
brother.
Yeah. Those three for me are my favorite ones. But this one was like, holy shit. This was like some real movie making stuff they did. Like they said, this match is a giant deal, and we're going to let people know, and we're going to remind people just how big of a deal it is. Like they went through all the backstory between like every single match, how they got there, why it was so important. Like Okada was like the man on top of New Japan. Kenny was coming in to take over the fucking world and take this shit global. Went crazy in the first match. Okada chose him to be this opponent for the second match. The time limit draw, the drama in between that stuff. Kenny basically having to murder Okada just to beat him for the first time in the G1. And then like they say, you know what, we settling the goddamn score. 2 out of 3 falls. We going crazy. Kenny getting the damn win. Exactly. That's what I didn't say,
bro. Right?
I didn't say shit.
Shout out Ayo every time, but yo. Hey, yo.
True.
What you mean?
What you mean, bro?
We all did.
Yeah, I had my shirt off. I was
wait a
cooking
minute.
my yellow rice and shit. I had my I was doing my thing watching it. But anyway, like they did, like the cinematography was great. They made everything feel like a giant deal. It was a progression from the first match to the fourth match to part 5 in the United States in a stadium. Like it's time. Like niggas is ready to run through a wall for this shit. Chris finna be there. I know he ready.
Oh, Chris, bro. What was your live reaction to this video package?
It's probably the best in AEW history.
No, Chris, your mic keeps going in and out.
You're going in and
kind of
out.
cutting in and out, bro.
No, Diddy. You're going in and out.
What about now?
You good.
Okay, you're good now.
Yeah, no, but I thought it was like really just like encapsulating of what this feud could do for the legacies of both men. Like obviously they had this stuff in Japan, and the criticisms of both men were, oh well, you can't do this in America, right? And I think if this match delivers, they're both like just cemented as like undoubtedly just the best of their era, the best of all time. And I think this video package like kind of summed all that up for me in general, as someone who's followed the feud since match 1.
Yeah, special stuff, brother. I know Rob was fired up, excited. His t-shirt was off.
Oh my god.
He's eating Vaseline, watching that
Nigga, did you
shit.
see? Nigga, did you see my?
Lotion.
Yeah, nigga, did you see my stream Monday when that punk graphic dropped? Nigga, I took my pants off. Nigga, what you think I did last night?
Come on.
I dead ass. There's a clip. I dead ass stood up on air, took my pants off. Like I was.
Bro.
I
Bro,
was,
come on,
I was
dog.
up, nigga.
Come
Yo,
on.
look, listen, yo.
Come on, man.
This series of matches, man. Like y'all don't understand. Like this is probably one of, if not like the greatest series of matches, like probably of all time. And like each match gets better and better. Even there's a G1, like even the G1 match, like is like like part of their history, bro. Like it's insane. These two, like, and what people don't know is not only did they like bring a lot of people like into the fan base of pro wrestling and like New Japan Pro Wrestling fandom, but they also like saved a lot of people's pro wrestling fandom, bro. Like a lot of people completely stopped watching wrestling or were on the brink of like not watching wrestling, especially with how, what they had going on in America on national television. And so like with this match being as great as it's been historically, like I'm very excited for this match in fucking fucking Texas, bro. Like the culmination of this match, like the climax of this feud happening in Texas, is like the most surreal part about it all. It's just like, yo, that's not a slight on Texas, like at all. Like, well, there's many slights on Texas I could do, but like no, but like, at the same time, oh brother,
Louisiana man talking, by the way.
nigga, you are in Florida.
Exactly. They almost got room to talk. We all fucked up.
I don't want to hear a bath salt, man.
Okay, that's why El City almost got wiped off the map.
Yo, but no, like I was saying, I'm very excited for this fifth match, bro. This is wrestling, bro. This is the wrestling, and then especially
it,
after
bro.
that angle last night. Yo, I saw a lot of niggas on the internet crying about Don Callis' involvement. What you guys don't know is because you act like you know wrestling, but you really don't. Don Callis has been involved like really with this feud a lot, like very, very much since the beginning. I think he's on commentary for like the first match.
He's on commentary for the fourth, especially.
The fourth and first.
Exactly. So he's like on commentary for the first, and he's on commentary for the fourth. So it's like he's involved historically in this feud. So I don't know why people like who act like they don't like they know wrestling are complaining. Oh, I don't care. Cry.
It's like you niggas was not there at 7:00 in the morning in 2018 in the summertime. Listen to Don Callis yell, "Hooks the leg, hooks the leg, hooks the leg." We doing it again, baby. Cry.
Listen, man. I think obviously what we're in now, like the 6th year of AEW, bro. And obviously this feud is kind of a big, you can't really tell the AEW story without kind of telling these matches, because you kind of need to tell the Kenny Omega story, and it's literally impossible to tell that story without this series of matches and Okada in general, And I don't know. I believe that there probably is I do believe there is like a decent chunk of the AEW audience now in 2025 that may not have seen all those matches. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, a majority of the audience have, but even if it is just 5%, 10% of the audience, like they're caught up now. They're caught up now.
Yeah.
Because the video package did such a good job of explaining, as you guys have already said, just kind of recapping the feud, the arc, the story of the two, the matches, how the matches went. Bro, by the way, one thing that you're watching those highlight clips, bro, and you seen Kenny bro, Prime Kenny Omega was a fucking freak, bro.
He's a monster,
bro. Watching some of the spots like bro, because a lot of people will recommend old Kenny New Japan matches on the match recommendations for like the self-made shit. So when you watch like old Kenny, it's like you realize like how he was so injured and like going into 2021, because he's just doing insane spot after insane spot after insane spot.
Man. He's
like,
so explosive, so
I watched
much
the first
snap,
match the other day,
everything.
right? This nigga did a fucking springboard moonsault past the barricade. Like, who does that?
Past the barricade, like it's Genuinely one of the greatest wrestlers ever. If not the greatest wrestler ever.
He was a
Great
freak
fucking
athlete, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, so much, so explosive, bro. So much snap to everything he did. You know, everything was so crisp as well, but not in kind of like the glossy way. You know, he was a freak, bro. And you watch some of those clips, and you're like, Jesus Christ, you know.
Roddy, you will be taking that Snapdragon off the top rope again, and you will be landing on your neck again.
He's he's an alien, bro. But like I said, they recapped those matches, did a really good job of that, a really good job of explaining the magnitude of them, how incredible they were with just the little clips that we've seen. But I think obviously we watched Kenny Omega, he's still amazing, and in your head you're like, Prime Kenny was, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like he was a freak, bro, real, all that sort of stuff. But when you actually see it again, you know, like when you go back and watch it again, you're like, fuck.
Even Kenny said even Kenny said last night, he's like, yo, I don't even remember what the fuck that is. Was I doing that?
Yo, it's
For
like
real,
like
bro,
when you
man.
watch like the Ishii 2017 G1 USA match, a lot of his G1 matches from like 2016, 2017, 2018. Yo, Cody, you're a dick eater. And let me tell you why you're a dick eater. Like, right? Like,
Wait,
so let's talk about let's talk about
Ain't no way.
Where's
let's
the
talk about
where's the context?
let's talk about some bum ass
Clear out,
niggas
clear
in
out.
this lifetime taking credit for Kenny Omega's work, right? Let's talk about some bum ass niggas in this lifetime.
What
Kenny
you referring
Omega,
to, Rob? You're referring to Cody Rhodes' recent podcast with Damian Priest, where he
Yes,
said the
yes.
Bullet Club wasn't making any money before he was the leader.
Would anyone like to know what Cody Rhodes was up to when Kenny Omega was winning his first G1? I just want to ask a question.
Y'all ever heard of Global Force? You know, y'all ever heard of Stardust? Yeah. That ring the bells to the people?
Nigga was in XWA. That nigga was wrestling Funny Bone and Freak Show Wrestling, while Kenny Omega was doing greatness, having Bullet Club shirts selling by the thousands, by the hundreds of thousands, by the
Like, nigga,
millions.
wasn't nobody going to Hot Topic for you, Cody? Wasn't nobody going to Hot Topic for you, Garrett?
So, yo, but that segment last night was like, I think that's one of the greatest segments of Dynamite history.
Let's get into it
leading
then,
into,
man.
bro. Like, I think, bro, even it was so like crazy that even I was like genuinely concerned for like 5 seconds for Kenny. I was like, oh shit. I literally just went in the group chat. I was like, I went in one of the group chats.
He
I was
good?
Like, oh fuck. I was like,
like, yo, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
All right, so let's dive straight into it. So obviously, as I said, the Unified Championship. So there was a contract signing last night. Tony Schiavone's in the ring, and there's 3 bouts. One of them's covered with like what's going on. Okada, Omega, they're there. Big contract sign, as I've already said. And Tony Schiavone basically announced that, as I said at the top of the show, they will be unifying the International and Continental Championships and unveiled the Unified Championship, which I thought was a beautiful belt. I cannot lie.
It's fucking gorgeous.
It's probably the second prettiest AEW belt below the World Championship. I love the
Yeah, can
AEW
we-
World Championship.
Can we see that?
How long has it been since we've seen it, Chriso?
In like 7 months, man. I want to see the fucking belt, man.
We've been dropping
It's been
bangers out here longer
it's
than
been
we've seen
longer
the
than
belt.
7 months, isn't it?
We
won
won
in
in October,
October.
so yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
What about
8
9
months.
months, bro?
8, 9 months. Kids got conceived by the time that belt was last seen, bro. Like, what we doing?
Hey man, that's obviously I do like with the Mox like storyline Death Riders thing that he's been doing. Yeah, like obviously there's been things that I've been high on, there's been things that I've been low on, and it's kind. I think creatively it has kind of been all over the place, up and down, up and down, up and down. And but one thing that I will never be up on is that like, boy, like it's just too much, bro. Like you don't need to hide the belt like that for 8-9 months, you know. Like it's just.
It's like
come
I
on,
get
bro.
the tension game behind it. I get the yearning and shit. I get the idea and the concept. Why the fuck am I not into the briefcase? No, don't do that.
Son,
You don't get
I
it.
thing is, bro, son, I don't even like. It's getting to the point where I don't really give a fuck to see the belt until like Hangman. Like I'm so used to not seeing it that I like stopped like giving a fuck about making the point every week that we haven't seen. I was just like, man, I don't care at this point. I was like, man, fuck it. We're
Because
just
he's
never
the
gonna
world
see it
champion.
again.
Didn't you hear him?
Bizarre, bro. Bizarre. To have a reign this long and be like, yeah, we're gonna hide the title for a year. Like it's mad. But
Nah, it's
beautiful
fire, bro.
world title. Definitely some IWGP world champ. What was it? Version 4, the IWGP heavyweight
Yeah.
title. Version 4. Definitely some inspiration there. No surprise because we all know Okada loved it so much he tried to bring it back. You know, we know Kenny loves it. It's an iconic belt, but iconic belt design, and I'm not surprised to see AEW doing something inspired by it, to be honest. But yeah, man, beautiful belt, and then Don Callis, man, that's Don Callis, bro. He comes
This
out,
shiesty ass nigga, bro.
he was scheming, bro. He's a nasty guy, you know. He comes out and he's just talking shit, bro, basically, and Kenny basically just says like, "Hey, listen. I ain't here to listen to you talk shit. So, you know, at All In, it's going to be me and Okada." And Don Callis, I can't remember the actual word, but he was like, listen.
He's like, why isn't this Kyle Fletcher? Why isn't this Takeshi? It's like, Kenny's like, I think I beat them already. The fuck?
No, but like, when he does like the you know, when he drops it, like he says something like
He's like, I seen all your schemes. Ain't nothing gonna fool me. He's like, huh, guess you ain't seen this one.
yeah, you haven't seen this one, and then Okada attacks him from behind, which means they set Kenny Omega up. Okada somewhat aligned with Don Callis. I don't think he's gonna be full on in the Callis family, but he's definitely gonna be you know, like I said, he's gonna be like somewhat aligned with him over the next however long it's gonna be.
Bro, if he's actually
And,
in the Cows family, this is the fucking 2017 Warriors, bro. What the? They got Kyle Fletcher on the damn rookie scale contract. He got pretty much everybody in the family on vet minimums. Josh Alexander on the mid level. They just signed fucking Okada to the backs, to the super backs and shit. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, it's listen, bro. Don Callis is he's good talent scout, bro. He knows
Yeah.
That's second they gonna beat his ass. I ain't gonna lie.
But yeah, man, beautiful belt. Don Callis sets up Kenny Omega using Okada. Okada beats the shit out of Kenny Omega. Gets to the top rope, hits him with an elbow drop.
Give me that nigga with a police baton.
Oh yeah, Don Callis backs out.
This could be police brutality on Kenny Omega. What the fuck?
Yo, that was
What
the
was
crazy
going
part.
on
I'm
last night,
thinking like,
man?
so when he pulls like, he goes down and like reaches for something. I'm like, oh, okay, so he's gonna pull out the screwdriver, and no, he just pulls out a whole fucking police baton, bro. And I'm just like, what?
Where'd you get one from? First of all,
But then I was like, oh shit, I know what he's about to fucking do, and he just, yo, they whooped Kenny's ass with that fucking police baton, bro. It was
They had
crazy.
to, bro.
They whooped him like he
They were
stole
going
something.
for it. But they didn't have to, because how could they do such a thing to such a beloved
Just
human being, bro?
disgusting.
Just disgusting acts of violence, you know.
Fucking
So
thugs.
disgusting, in fact, that I don't think AEW should be allowed to show any replays of what happened. You know, I don't want to be turning on Dynamite next week and hearing Excalibur tell us what happened last week and seeing the disgusting actions that those boys did to Kenny
No,
Omega,
no, no,
you
no,
know?
no, 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 no. We're not calling them boys. Those thugs, Monty.
Those Sikh thugs, bro. How could they do such a thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it hit him with an elbow drop that just looked brutal. The one in the ring I'm talking about. You know, I was like, oh, how could they do such a thing? You know. And then, you know, Christopher Daniels comes out. Everybody comes out like, how could you do this? What are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Security, all that's coming out, trying to stop Okada from this savage, violent beatdown that he's putting down on Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega, meanwhile, is absolutely in agony. He's selling. He's pulling all kinds of scary faces. Never seen Kenny like that, you know. It was scary. They put him on the stretcher on the outside, and as they're about to get him, as they're about to wheel him off Okada, he just gets this look in his eyes, bro. You know, this sick, psychopathic look in his eyes, Marcus. And yeah, he gets to the top rope. He sees his opportunity, And no, we don't even get to top rope. He does it off the apron, and
Yeah, strong apron.
he jumps out. He jumps over the rope, gets on the apron, does like a little mini sprint, elbow drop to Kenny Omega on the stretcher on the outside. Kenny Omega's guts just fucking explode, just
Yeah,
right,
do a
on,
fucking
right
fatality
on
on
national TV. Kenny Omega spits up more blood than I think I've ever seen in my
I was
life.
like, yo, is this nigga okay? Like, what happened? Because I looked at my phone after he did the elbow drop because I got an alert on something. I look up. This nigga Kenny's like spitting up all types of blood and the rest of his intestines that didn't get removed.
I'm about to say,
wait,
son,
what?
like, he wasn't like it wasn't. It looked like it wasn't just like blood. Like he started like he was like
There was
it was
chunks
like,
in it, bro.
Like, son, is
it was
he
like,
dead?
what the fuck, bro? I was like, ew.
Why was the chunks in it?
Jesus, he killed Kenny.
Jesus, bro.
There was chunks, there was blood clots, there was everything in it, bro. It was scary. And Okada's just got this sick smile on his face, you know. And then, whilst the whole arena's like, oh my god, like what's this? Oh my god. But yeah, like I said, Kenny's guts exploded. He spits up a hilarious, comedic amount of blood almost, you know. And yeah, it was just absolutely devastating moments that we witnessed last night on live television, you know. But yeah, what an angle. You know? Pro
my
wrestling's
God.
back. Pro wrestling is
Absolute
back.
murder.
I don't know if y'all heard that, but the loudest thunder I've ever fucking heard just shook my crib.
Pray for Chris O.
Oh my
Hey,
God,
who coming for
God
you?
God is weeping for Kenny Omega. This is crazy. Oh my God.
God, just like us. Y'all was watching Wrestle Kingdom 11 too.
Oh my
Amen.
God, bro. Like spitting up blood and yo, remember the only other time I remember someone doing that. Remember when remember after the Hell in the Cell, the Fiend stuck his hand in Seth Rollins' mouth. I was watching. I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" But this was like, you know, I was talking to Monty before we went live. I was like, "Yo, blood pills can be good. You know, you just can't substitute blood pills for bleeding. But when you want to do like internal like blood coming out, obviously that's what you got. You're not gonna fucking blade, you know, your tongue or whatever. Um, yo, kid, like I've never seen a wrestler look so much like they were actually in pain without like actually being in that much pain. It was crazy. Um, I wonder how long he stays off TV though. I'm guessing like a couple weeks, maybe 3.
3 or 4.
Yeah, that's a while before All In. Like what, 4 weeks?
4 weeks, yeah.
Does that say? I'll bring that up in a bit. Yeah, Kenny. I don't know if I don't know how long they keep him off TV because the show's not that far away, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's in what, end of July, mid July.
Yeah, about a month away.
Yeah, man. So it's not like he can miss a month for TV. You know, like we can't do that. But so it'll be interesting to see how like the play in his injuries from this. To be honest, you know, because it's not like he can be like, oh well, he's back next week, and guess what? He's wrestling Blake Christian. Like you can't, like we can't do that. He was we watched him spit up half his guts, bro. It was crazy, you know. But yeah, man, I thought it was a great angle, genuinely. One of the best angles that they've done. One of the most impactful angles that they've done in a hot minute. You know, I thought the angle with Hangman and Mox later on in the show as well. What was it earlier in the show? Might have been
It was
later in the
earlier.
show.
It was,
But yeah,
yeah.
that was a great angle as well. So look, when I said at the top of the show, they did a couple great angles. Those are the two I was obviously talking about. But Kenny Omega, man, he didn't deserve this, Marcus, Rob. And whilst Chris has just had to go off to the corner to kind of have a little sob, it's kind of hard for him to talk about, you know. I think
Ladies,
we should
ladies
kind
and
of
gentlemen, I think today's the day. It's a real somber day today here in Wrestle Paris. You love Kenny Omega. I love Kenny Omega. We all love Kenny Omega. And the heinous act that happened to him last night, before one of the biggest nights in professional wrestling history, Omega Okada 5, and that's what Okada does. He takes the coward's way out and tries to murder his opponent. This will not stand. This simply just will not stand. But before we get into that, I would just like to ask everybody kindly in the chat and you, Monty, to remove your hats, bow your heads, a temporary moment of silence, and I want to see the hashtag "Thank You Kenny" plastered through the chat. We honor his memory tonight.
Hashtag thank you Kenny Omega in the chat, and we're gonna do a 1 minute silence. We're gonna bow our heads in 3, 2, 1.
K Omega, may you rest in peace. Thank you.
Sending our love and prayers to all his loved ones. Hangman Adam Page. Kota Ibushi. Who else?
Nakazawa.
Yes, Nakazawa was there, wheeling him out.
This cat Dabi, Riho, Kuroshita somewhere. You know, the whole gang. Gato, we can't book him in Wrestle Kingdom anymore.
It was tough, bro. That was emotional, you know. And now that we've done that, we spoke about the Unified Championship. We've paid our respects to Kenny Omega and his loved ones. I think it's time to just kind of break things up, lighten the tone a little bit. Do some
Much like Adam Cole did right following that with his little 10-minute war.
Bro, that was crazy. But AEW, that is just what AEW does, bro. Like, they'll do a big angle and they're just, you know, I think just the way Tony does TV, man, it's like he just wants to move to the next segment once that segment's over. Like, it's just like, you know, we just watched Kenny Omega,
so
the most
funny.
beloved man, the most beloved man in the history of AEW's lore, you know, just get fucking obliterated. And it's like, oh, wow, that was, you know, the heinous actions by Okada as he flees the arena. Anyway, here's Adam Cole. It's just like, it's crazy, bro.
It's not about the ball. Like, what the fuck? What Adam Cole gonna do at the top like this? Yeah. The way Adam Cole came out and just aura farmed for like 5-10 minutes. That's like when you're at a funeral, right? And like some random guy that does like the words of comfort at the very end. That's literally what Adam Cole did.
Whilst Kenny's blood is all spat out across the side of the ring.
Hey, man. If you guys remember, Kenny Omega was the one that poisoned Adam Cole. So, what the fuck?
Not too much. Not too much. It was a harmless rib.
You can't prove it.
What?
Well, we can't actually, sadly. But anyway, it was a harmless rib.
It might have been on camera, you know. It's just
He may have given instructions to the Young Bucks as to what to do with this energy drink. He may or may not have almost accidentally killed Rick Knox too. But that's neither here nor there.
It's about I ain't a judge, you know. So
We're all sinners.
Rick of the Lion TM 199. What kind of money's Punk gonna be making, Chuck? What's he making, Chuck?
We get money.
Alright, bro, get this shit off, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh my god, I love that graphic.
We gotta put the real
frame that
overlay back
graphic.
on.
I'm gonna frame that graphic.
Anyway, Ultra Instinct 499. Say it ain't so. Tell me my cleaner will rise like a one-winged angel from the ashes, bro. We hope, bro, like the one-winged angel phoenix that he is, he will rise again and he will be our first ever unified champion. You know, because that's what the world isn't right unless that's what happens. You know.
Tony got the graphic up and everything, just in case. You know, the show must go on. But until we get real medical clearance, it's up in the air, baby. But we'll see. He's recovered before. He'll recover again.
It's Jason. $5. Apologies for bot shots. The Unified Championship is a beauty. Agreed. I don't think AEW has missed with these title designs. The original TNT belt does not exist in my head.
Well, that was
crazy.
pandemic. You know,
That was crazy.
Bringing the unfinished championship to TV is wild. I can't
Yo,
lie.
I was like, what the fuck?
Oh man, yeah.
Very fitting Clay was
obviously,
first champion, by the way.
Well, Tony's a mark, ain't he? So it's like, of course he's gonna have nice belts, bro. Do you know, if any of us had a fucking wrestling promotion, like our belts would be fucking godly as well, you know. So, and then when I say he's a mark, I mean that lovingly. You know, it's a good thing that somebody actually like loves wrestling. He's the billionaire
your belts
funding a
should
promotion.
always
You know?
look like something people want to win and will spill pints of blood for. Like,
No, that's why I'm gonna
just
get my.
wrestling 101.
That's why I'm gonna get my belts done by Belts by Dan. Shout out to Belts by Dan.
Yeah, man.
Well, you know, I'm a red letter man myself, but you know.
So yeah, Pedro points out in the chat, man, the international title as well. Beautiful belt. You know, the continental title can kind of take it or leave it. To be honest,
It's kind of
whatever.
generic.
So it's okay, you know. But the international
Well,
title,
the first
is
women's
beautiful.
title is like, you know, whatever. But
I
we'll ignore
mean,
that.
it was small, but you know.
I get it was supposed to be a classical design, but it looked like a toy because Riho won it the first time, and then they never adjusted it until Sheeta was about to drop it, and then they changed it just randomly. But it's a great design though. Glad they did it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did like it. It was just, you know, a bit small. You know. Yeah, short on Spurs $5. The only thing that video package was missing was a Bob Costas voiceover.
Oh my god! Like,
Close
can you
enough.
imagine if they got Bob Costas, who like notoriously hates wrestling, to do a voiceover for that?
Kenny Omega, bro. He's, you know, he's not a pro wrestler. He's an artist. He's
Hey man.
anyway.
Yeah, we talking about people who should do some narration. Hey, what's Mike Tenay doing these days?
I don't know, bro. There was some talk about. Apparently, there was some talk internally in WWE about trying to ask him to do that Worlds Collide show, but I don't think that actually ever ended up reaching out to him.
Yeah, we bring.
I think he's available for like little spots, or like, I think if Tony would have asked him to do that, like he probably would have done it. To be honest, bro.
What happened since retirement? That's what I would have done.
Yeah, man. But yeah, shout out Mike tonight, bro. That's a legend. Black Yakuza 94, $10. Tony, Mercedes, Moxley, and Hangman just gotta understand that the main event goes to real draws. It's just business after all. They can fight over who curtain jerks.
Hey man. All I'm saying is,
Yo, you motherfuckers with this hashtag. Yo, hold that 1,000. Hold the whole 2,000 people buying tickets when that match is announced. Hold that, nigga. When you hold it, I want you to hold it, nigga.
we
I
don't
don't
have to
think that's the
manufacture main events around here. We just sell tickets.
But bro, I don't think. Yeah, obviously I know you're joking and that as well, but half serious as well. But like, I don't think we can go that direction when talking about it, bro. Like, because at the end of the day, I think all three of those matches are viable main events. All three of them, yeah. It's like Kenny and Okada did sell a nice amount of tickets last week. I think it was like 1,400 tickets. Even Sean did a report that it was like, you know, even AEW internally account that to the Okada Omega match being announced, which, okay, cool. But I don't think we can be like, this should main event because it draws the most. Because at the end of the day, bro, no matter who it is, and I'm not saying this to like be a prick, but at the end of the day, the stadium's going to be half empty anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like we can be like, oh, if Okada main events, we're going to fill the stadium. Like, that's not, like, the tickets are going to kind of be what they are anyway, you know? So, I don't think we can be like, oh, this has to main event because it's, you know, it's the ticket seller. It's like, well, you know, It's like how many are we talking? You know, if this was for Wrestle Dream and Kenny Okada moved 2,000 tickets, and that's like whoa, you know. But we're trying to fill a stadium, bro. So it's just like historically, marquee was what do you want it to be the main event, and like I've already said, I think all three are perfectly viable, all three of them. Obviously, the only thing that wouldn't be viable though would be Mox and Hangman main eventing and Mox winning. Like that can't happen.
That would be
bro.
company
Like,
suicide if they did that.
Yo,
Shit.
I would do things in that stadium.
yeah, I wouldn't want to. I genuinely wouldn't want to see how you man would act up if that happened, bro. I swear to God, like because the swerve was a lot,
Either.
you know.
Don't let me see a nigga in a Mox shirt. It's not gonna be pretty for niggas, and you better not be celebrating.
Yo, we gonna do niggas like they was doing niggas at Black Panther, nigga. Nigga,
Like,
what? Come here.
even Swerve, like even though like
It's not
deep
for
down
you,
I knew he
nigga.
wasn't gonna win, like there was hope. I wanted to believe it, and I was still pissed off. Hey man, I do legitimately believe, and there's every reason to believe that he probably is winning that belt. And if he doesn't, it's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, like I said, like outside of the scenario where Hangman loses in the main event to Moxley, I think all three of them are.
Yo,
You can close it. You can close. I think you can close the show with Hangman finally beating the big bad Moxley. That's a very obvious way to close the show. I think closing the show with Tony or Mercedes standing tall as well. More so, oddly, more so Tony, to be honest. Then obviously like Kenny and Okada, they're unifying a new world title. It'd make all the sense in the world for that to main event as well. So it's a good problem for him to have. But I think judging off what we saw last night, Kenny and Okada are going to main event. Like that's like Tony's match, bro. Like you've seen the video package and what we just said about it. So I think that is going to be the one. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, but I was gonna say if Hager's winning, he has to main event. I feel like I was
I'll
gonna
hear
say
that.
you should put Okada Kenny first, but I don't think you can do that because
Yeah,
it will
that's like
just hold
drying the
whatever
crowd out.
match is like. Yeah, it would hold whatever match is next. So, uh,
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one for Tony to try and put together when it comes to Showtime because those three matches alone will be kind of difficult to place and get the most out of them. And then obviously there's going to be like another 10 matches as well. So, but at the moment, even though I was kind of my optimal choice a couple of weeks ago was Tony and Mercedes. Now I'm a lot more. It can be any of them. Fuck it, I don't care. But if I had to guess which one I think it's gonna be, it'll be Kenny and Kazu. So yeah, man. Like I said, it's a good problem to have, though, bro. It's definitely a good problem to have.
Yeah, you want to a show like this, you want viable matches and as many as possible. Yeah, we got three of them. Cool. I don't envy Tony Khan at all. We're trying to put this shit together. And history taught us same thing. If you don't main event a match with Kenny Omega when he's on your card, it's kind of gonna be insane for whoever has to follow that.
Yeah, because Fiending is obviously Ospreay and Swerve against the Bucks or something, you know.
You can open with that.
Yeah, it's like there's just with Ospreay working a tag. Obviously, I think that'll be phenomenal, but it's still a tag, so it's kind of like there's not really anything that I'd be confident in following Omega or God if it's not the main event, you know. Almost feels like you'd have to add a match to the show just to burn it. You know, that one's like Blake Christian versus Josh Alexander, just fucking.
Adam Cole gets squashed for the TNT Championship.
yeah,
Boy,
that's
who?
definitely it's gonna be a multi-man. The TNT, like just off topic, that TNT title match is gonna be like a big multi-man probably.
Yeah, when
It's probably gonna be Bowens versus Fletcher versus Cole versus whoever.
Bro, we need Bowens to get a win, man.
Yeah, he does need to
Jesus.
get on it. He's lost the last two, right?
yeah, lost Kyle
I'm,
ain't
so,
lost
I want
the-
to I'm pulling up his cage match. I'm doing cage match. We're how long are we into this show? Nearly an hour. Cage matches. Cage matches back. Alright. Right. So he lost to Fletcher. He lost to Okada. He lost to Ricochet. He defeated Blake Christian and Lee Johnson after he beat Max Caster, and that was his return match. So yeah, I don't like this. I don't like how this looks on paper. I can't lie to you.
Gonna have to catch a bigger body than that, Anthony. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
But people, you want to know the thing is as well, it's not his fault at all, because I think all those matches I just mentioned have been as good as you would expect them to be, with, based on the opponents that he's had and the times he's been able to have. The crowd still really like him. The pop for his stuff, the pop when he first comes out, the pop for his entrance. Fuck, they even still pop a little bit for fucking for Daddy Ass, But yeah, man, the people are with him, and it's like that. I think the people would be more than open to him getting a real push. But yeah, it just feels like he's just kind of going to be used as like another guy, another like reliable guy on the roster, if that makes sense. Which, it might be okay for his longevity, but I think he's capable of more. I think he has a high ceiling than
He's
this.
a fascinating.
I think what you just mentioned is a big problem.
What
I
Daddy
talked to
Ass?
Chris about. I think. Yeah. I think. No. I just think. I talked to Chris about this. I think it was yesterday. I think a big problem going on with Anthony Bowens and this kind of transition into this new run he's going on is he's a good worker. Everybody knows this. We all don't deny that he's a good worker. The big problem is you have to, bro. This whole run. This whole reason why he wanted to go on his own is because he wanted to get away from the acclaimed stuff. But you can't get away from the acclaimed stuff when you're still scissoring Daddy Ass. Daddy Ass is still around, and it's just like, son, you gotta like. I think what about the story I think they should tell is, I think they should tell a story where Bowens is trying to go off on his own and he's trying to get this run started, but he keeps coming up short. He keeps coming up short because he keeps trying to hold on to the past. And I think that with every single loss that he's taking to Kyle Fletcher, to these big main eventers, I'm not saying he should fucking lose to Action and fucking Andretti, you know what I mean, on this run. And shout out to Action and Andretti. Like, I like Action and Andretti, but that's not the point. I think like when he loses to one of these upper mid carders or main eventers, I think with every single loss that he takes to an upper mid carder or main eventer, I think that it should be another thing from the old acclaim pass that he drops. With eventually him dropping Daddy Ass, bro, and being like, yo, I can't keep doing this scissoring shit. I'm trying to be on my own. I'm trying to do my own thing, and I can't improve, and I can't get better if I'm still doing the same shit. So
My problem, like, I was talking to you about this too. He was like, there's something missing, like, or not me, just told he said this in the future. He was like, there's something missing from Bowen's, like, in-ring stuff and just him in general. And it's just like, bro, like, it's his personality, all his personality just, y'all know I was like in the acclaim. And it's like, well, yeah, we know, bro, but like, we wanted to see you outside of the acclaim stuff. Like Rob said, you're still coming out with Billy Gunn. You're still fucking doing the scissoring and shit.
He's still throwing up acclaimed and shit.
You're still throwing up the same thing. You're still yelling like the shit that you yelled in the tag matches. And it's like, look at Max Caster. I get people like, I almost had a crazy take I wanted to put on Twitter, but I was to jump for it, so I'm not even gonna say it here. But like Max Caster has fully shedded the
Say
acclaim.
Chris O.
I think Max Caster has way more upside than Bowens, and I don't just a lot more upside, just because like he seamlessly transferred all of the acclaim stuff. And I get it, he's
Come
like
on,
not the
man.
best worker, but he's like really good. He's pretty good on the mic. He has a lot of personality and he understands like how to be a heel. I don't know if Bowens
let's
fully
go,
understands how
Max.
to
You're
be
the
a-
best wrestler
Yeah.
alive.
I don't
People
know if he
actually
fully
start
knows
chanting
how to
that
be a
shit, too.
face, you know. I don't know what he could do. He has to get rid of all the stuff that he had in his old gimmick. I don't know, man. He's missing a lot.
That nigga is Quavo
I
after people
think-
begged him to go solo. That's
So, like,
what it's looking like.
I think. See, I think you're being harsh with that one, Marcus. But still,
Am I?
I think it would be fair, yeah, to Chris's hot take, I think it would be fair to say since they've split up, Max Caster has found more success in the lane that he's trying to go in. You know, he's been more entertaining, etc., etc., etc. But I think when you say there's more upside to Max Caster, is where I'd probably be like, whoa, slow down, because I think this is Max Caster's upside. I don't think Max Caster's ceiling is much higher than this. Do you know what I mean?
No.
So
another
obviously it's an opinion. It's a game of opinions. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see much like more from it. Whereas
If anything,
Anthony
it's very
Bowens,
clear
I
why they
do
were
see
tag
more.
team.
I do see more untapped potential with Bowens. So
I feel like because I feel like he has to change something soon, or he has to let go of that shit very soon. Because if he does not let go of that and he doesn't change something, it is going to end up in a situation where they did it like with a few tag teams in WWE, where they split them up. They thought they were going to do well on their own, and then they ended up being like, damn, they can't do well without each other, so they're going to throw them back together. And then all that shit that they went through, wasting an entire fucking private party defense and title reign on their storyline in Full Gear last year. I feel like all the shit that they went through trying to go to get Anthony Bowens by himself is just going to be for naught. And then by the time we get to late 2026, we're gonna be saying the Acclaim. Da, da, da. Like I don't want to be back there, bro. I want Bowens to succeed on his own, but it's like, son, you have to want to succeed on your own as well.
I think
like,
it does, man. It's when it comes to like wanting him to add more, do more different stuff and differentiate himself more from when he was in the Acclaim. It's like, obviously we're talking about creative things and stuff here, you know. It's like, and obviously he can have ideas, you know, and he can have things that he wants to do with his character. And AEW obviously is very famous for letting its talent kind of go in the creative directions that they want to go in within reason. But it's like, I think like if we're just looking at him as a talent rather than like, oh, I think this is what his character should be doing, and this is what I think he should be booked in and stuff. I think as a talent, I think Bowens is still displaying that he's a very, you know, he's got more than enough to hang, bro. And he deserves some opportunities, and maybe he does need some more creative spark. But that's why we've got bookers and creative teams. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think obviously with AEW, because like I said, talent have more freedom to kind of do what they want. We do kind of we are a little bit more harsh with AEW talent when it comes to those things, but it's like the booking can get involved. A lot of those things that you guys have just pointed out about, and what Chris was pointing out as well, are things that like creative can get involved with these sort of things. You know, if they feel like he hasn't differentiated himself too much from the Acclaimed version, if he hasn't done this, if he hasn't done that, or if they think they should, you know, if there's these obvious things that he probably should be doing, then you know, Anthony Bowens, he gets paid to show up and wrestle. And I think he does that very well, you know. So
Mechanically, he's a very good wrestler, and I like him. He's a project worth taking a look at and trying to invest in. Just tinker a little bit, but there are a couple things from him personally that are missing. That I think in time he can get there. But it's very clear why they were a tag team in the first place. Is what I'm learning from all of this.
He's far from. And same with Max. Look, they're both far from perfect, but you know, they're both talented guys. You know.
Yeah.
So. Bam, $2. Gods are battling in the main event. Omega Okada 5.
Well, one guy tried to kill the other before that, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no. See if Kenny makes it. You know, we're praying though. We are praying. Bro,
I got my hoodoo bag right now. Yep. I'm conjuring the biggest hoodoo of give spells, all that.
Commonwealth Cowboy 499. Last night's training room developments got me believing more in Hangman. We're taking that belt from that terrorist.
Saddle up. We're coming for your ass, Mox. You hog tied us last night. That's cool. That's all right. You got this. You caught slipping. Well, you took the headbutt though. I know you felt that. I know that.
he did get caught with that, but yeah, it was interesting them doing that. Actually, no. When we talk about Ospreay Swerve, we'll segue into that. GMB Oba versus what's his name? Jason Troy. Jasper Troy. Oba versus Jasper Troy was good. Shout out to our Oba FC leader, Monty. You know what, bro? I'll be perfectly real. I don't think the match was actually like that good, but it was more so like when you see Oba go against somebody who's clear. I think, and don't get me wrong, Jasper Troy obviously is very green. You know, he's the LFG winner. Like he's as green as anybody reasonably should be on TV. Do you know what I'm saying? And there is definitely obviously something there. You can kind of see why he won the competition. He speaks confidently, and he's a big dude that can move. You know, like that. Like he's like 300 pounds, but he can move. You know what I mean? He can hit the ropes, bro. Like, but when you see somebody like that against Obafemi, it really makes you realize just like how advanced Obafemi is for how long he's been in the game. Bro, Obafemi's had less matches than Julia Hart, just off the top of my head. You know? And it's just like, bro, he debuted at the end of 2022. Yeah, so basically
Julia Hart.
20 so he's basically been around since the start of 2023. He's also been injured for like 5-6 months at some point as well. You know, he had that knee injury when he was first getting started. I think the way that he picks up the little things, his little knack, his instincts for things, I think he's crazy special. And that's before getting into like the obvious stuff, like his look and how powerful he is. He's probably the most powerful wrestler going today, you know. Like the way that he was thrown around that Jasper Troy, bro, like he was...
Yo, he throwing that nigga around like...
Bro, he's throwing him around like it was Johnny Gargano, bro. It's just easy. It's the easy does shit with, bro. He even did that thing where like he throws him across the ring. It's like, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like that's how I watch him sometimes. So outside of those obvious, like, you know, he's obviously very gifted. He's a very gifted athlete, but it's also like I said, the way that he's picked up a lot of the little things, his instincts and stuff like that. I think he's undeniably gonna be a world champion one day. So.
Yo, Chris, you good, bro?
Oh, this one's track against him, sadly.
Yo, I just came back to say, Monty, give my house check to the boys, man. I have to get up. I keep leaving because I keep fucking.
You're gonna reveal the backstage gossip, Chris, about your past 24 hours.
Yo,
Yo.
my nigga in hell, bro.
The worst stomach bug, and I look, you shouldn't have even like told Monty I could do the show. But I told
Bro, you can hear that he's in his bathroom.
That motherfucker started the Battle of Stalingrad in that bitch.
Yo, he came back. He said, "It's my fault, guys. I had to throw my guts up."
He probably flushed that toilet bowl like 6 times every 2 minutes.
Yo, my water bill is going to be the highest it has ever been.
Chris O came into the stream before we went live and was like, "Yo." He was just like, my stomach. He was like, my stomach's feeling like Kenny Omega's right now, bro.
This shit going crazy.
I wanted to go out here, you know, give it a fair shot, flu game, but oh my god, I have been tranquilized. But I just wanted to come and say, yeah, I'm gonna take the rest of the night off.
Yo, Chris, we gotta read this super chat though before you go, because it's got you in it. Andrew 199 hashtag we want Max. Hashtag Charlene FC.
Oh, brother.
Hashtag Mox FC with profile picture change, Chris O.
Wait, what the fuck is Charlene?
W profile picture change, Chris O.
That one mock stand on Twitter.
Oh, brother. But appreciate you, Andrew.
But yo, pray for Chris, bro. We're not just praying for Kenny Omega anymore. Alright? We're praying for Chris O.
This nigga Chris got dysentery, bro. What is going on?
Yeah, I'm in hell, but I tried. Don't say I don't try.
He tried. He made it past the 1 hour mark.
He ran the ropes well, then he had to throw up the X symbol after he started puking in the ring. It is what it is.
Yeah. But
yeah. So Hook just rolls over. Chris just rolls over after taking the bump. He just starts puking in the ring. We're like, what the fuck?
Keep watching the show, guys. The three of them. I gotta get out of here, bro. I can't even say words.
Oh, you good?
Can't even say
I'm gonna flush your show.
words. I'll see y'all next week.
That's all right, bro. Empty that shit
Be
back
easy,
out, bro.
Be easy.
Crystal shit bag. Jesus.
He said, "I can't even get this sentence out." You know,
He was trying to reach for the exit out button. He couldn't even.
Yeah, somebody say, yeah, Crystal is not making match Rex tonight. He is not making match Rex tonight. Yeah, but don't worry, we gonna have. I'm gonna have y'all. Bro. I'm not gonna be lobotomized. Look, Ibu's not making me do it at 3:00 in the morning tonight, y'all. So I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna be awake.
Crystal,
and it's a good list of matches.
He's not making the match Rex, bro. He's not even. Oh, he's not making it. He ain't making it 5 feet out the bathroom before.
I was like, you better make it. You better make it to the toilet paper, let alone damn match Rex.
Man said Matrix, you know. Ibu chatting shit, watching fucking. I don't even know, bro. Oh man, it's good shit. Shout out Crystal, bro. We're praying for him. Dunno 499. TK better not put Donkey's screwdriver law in Okada Omega 5, or else he will face #consequences. Also, do you guys think Okada kicks out of the one-winged angel? No.
Absolutely not.
Now this is interesting. This is interesting because somebody eventually has to kick out of the one-winged angel. Like I know like, there's the lore with it and everything, but like
do they?
Eventually somebody has to, son. Eventually, but I don't want anybody to kick out of it till he's like older. You know what I mean? So like we could do a lore. It's like damn, Kenny Omega's older now, so the one-winged angel's kind of weaker. That's when somebody should kick out. But like, I don't think it should be Okada at all in. I think you know what I think they should do. I think they should do like they did in the 2 out of 3 falls. And I think that he should get his foot on the rope. I think he should definitely get his or if you want to have Don involved, I guess have Don put his foot on the rope. I guess
the only person that should kick out the one-winged angel is Hangman Adam Page in like 2029 or something. You know, like that's who's kicking out the one-winged angel.
Can he be like the one person wrestler who actually protects his finisher to this extent? Is pretty beast. And
hey
I think
man,
he should keep doing
Baron
it.
Corbin, bro.
Yeah. Anyway,
respect Bishop Dyer, bro.
Yo, that shit was
no.
Yo,
bro, Rob, you'll remember this. Fed fans used to like, this wouldn't be me because man's know that like in ring and in WWE, like I do kind of rate Corbin. I think he's a solid hand or whatever you want to call it, you know.
Solid.
But the way Fed fans be like, oh, Baron Corbin sucks, but he's finished though. His finisher,
yo, there's this lore behind his finisher where it's just like, man, this is the end of days, man. You know, it's like it's really the end of days. Like nobody's really kicking out, and I was just like, son, somebody please kick out of it so these niggas can shut the fuck up.
You'll be kicking out this deep sex and you'll like it.
Oh,
yeah, I think
son.
What's his name did it?
Drew
McIntyre kicked out.
It was Drew at 38 in a shitty match, so nobody remembers, and nobody remembers the kick out.
Well, we did. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we did. But I was just
y'all
like,
did. I remember watching this
I was just like, okay, now and after that, I was like, yo, okay, so what now? Legitimately, should we care about Baron Corbin for? Like in reality, what?
Listen, Broke Corbin was high art, bro. You know, so.
Oh yeah.
Bro
Corbin was the only time he's ever been like great, and then they were like, "Yo, you want to be a rich guy?" And then he turned back into like the worst wrestler ever. And I was like, "Damn, man!" Man, you had like 5 solid months. you were solid for like 5 months, man. Damn.
Bro Corbin, you know, streets will never forget. Andrew 199. Let's go, Rob. You're the best podcaster alive.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have niggas chanting that when we do the first. I was gonna do an event, try to do an event at WrestleMania weekend next year, but you know, of course, WWE is broke, so they had to go back to Vegas. I mean, WWE is going back to Vegas, you know, so so that event will have to wait one day. We're gonna do that chanting at an event one day, but
at Money in the Bank 2026.
Exactly, bro. Son. Stop, yo, WWE, Stop fucking playing with me, son. Stop fucking playing with me. Yo, nigga. The money in the bank hasn't been important in 6 years, my nigga. Stop fucking playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. Hey, listen, if we get a Royal Rumble, I'm cool. But nigga, money in the bank, bro. You don't care about money, Hunter. You don't care about money in the bank. You don't. Stop.
Oh, he does care. He definitely cares about it. He fucking hates it.
Yeah, bro. Like we
That was
can
beside
tell,
of Karen.
we can tell you don't give a fuck about this show, son. We can tell. Stop playing with me, bro. Before I turn up and I start telling stuff. Stop playing with me.
What you go tell Rob?
We'll talk about that off air.
Pedro, $5. Shout out to Queen Aminata. Always. She needs to be in the title picture after All In Texas. Yeah, man. I'm all for anybody that wants Aminata to get a push. Been that way for about a year and change now. But, you know, you get what you get.
Will always be famous to me. I always appreciate wrestlers go out there with the intent to just murder their opponent. So, shout out to Aminata for that.
Yeah, man.
Yo, what's going on with Aminata, man? What's going on with that?
I don't know, bro. She was off TV for ages. And then she seemed to reply to a fan voicing that she wasn't very happy about this, you know? And then she was immediately booked for a couple of TV matches. Now, last night, she wrestled the new shiny signing, the new hype signing for the women's division, Thekla. And in that match, Aminata wrestled her Aminata way, bro. You know, she doesn't hold back. She's quite stiff, you know, but not in a like malicious way. You know, she's just stiff, bro. It's the same way, like
it was like get over it, nigga.
Like Jamie Hayter or Sheamus, or do you know what I mean? I'm trying to think of female examples, but there's not loads of them, you know. But Aminata's stiff, bro. She's got great strikes and all those sort of things. So, you know, but one thing that I do think was pointed out, what was a little bit weird though, was like after she was submitted, she just kind of like shrugged Thekla off her and just like walked out the ring.
She's like, all right,
that's over.
That's over.
So there's a few things that I guess fans will naturally just speculate about, you know. But nonetheless, she's a great wrestler.
You know what I'm gonna say right here, right now, Monty. You know what I'm gonna say right here, right now, Monty. If it is what we think it is, if we is what we're speculating it is, this is all speculation, by the way, y'all. Before niggas think, the guys on WrestlePurist reported that. No, we didn't report anything. This is all speculation. But if it is the speculation that we think it is, I can't get upset at her for being upset at this, bro. I can't. She's been stuck on Ring of Honor for the last 2 years. She's been stuck on Ring of Honor giving absolute shitters good matches for the last 2 years. She had a great feud with fucking Athena. She had 2 great matches with Athena. And it's like she's giving all these shitters that they keep not bringing in, because half the niggas that they've been bringing aren't shitters. What I mean is, she's giving all these, like she's giving Julia Hart her best fucking TV match. She's giving what else? Thekla, who's we all know she's not as good as she used to be, but she gave Thekla her best TV match that she's been in the company. She's given all these people their best TV matches, bro, since they came to the company, except for like Mercedes. And it's just like, son, like why? I don't understand like why she's just she's not being used unless it's like, we need somebody for the new shiny toy to beat. Queen Aminata, what are you doing this week? It's like, son, come on, bro. And I'm not saying she's like it deserves a super duper push where she's the main event next week. No, son. But I can if she is frustrated, if the speculation is true that she is frustrated, I can't be mad at her for being frustrated. Like I get mad at a lot of niggas. A lot of these niggas on the roster be frustrated. It's like, nigga, you don't deserve to be on the lower card, let alone booked. It's like, but like with her, she's giving all these shitters good matches. So like, why is it that she's not used unless she needs to give somebody a good TV match? She's stuck on Ring of Honor, and Julia Hart can't have a 2.5 on TV unless it's a main eventer.
That's generous.
Like, I don't understand. Like, same deal with AR Fox. But AR Fox, I don't think that's going on with AR Fox. But like I said, like, same thing with AR Fox. If AR Fox was fucking frustrated, I wouldn't be mad at AR Fox. He's giving all these shitters their good TV matches.
And he gets over every time he's on there.
I don't
Thing is with
understand.
Fox,
Bro, he's the most
Fox is a
over in
little
every
bit.
TV
Fox is a
match.
little bit older, to be fair. He's like
He's a little
Fox
bit
is like
older.
late 30s, isn't it?
He's the most over nigga in every TV match he's in. The only chance you hear throughout the entire match is AAR Fox. AAR Fox. It's just like, so I don't understand, man. I don't really get it. If the rumors are like the rumors, if the speculation is true that she's a little bit frustrated, I'm not mad at her for being frustrated, like I said, because it's like, son, I'm not just gonna remain a nigga for the new shiny toy to beat, son. That's just not what I'm doing. That's not my vibe,
too good.
son.
She's too good for that. She is too.
Exactly.
I think she's too good in the position that she's been in over like a lot of her AEW time, because I remember vividly, similar to, I guess, somewhat similar to last night, probably, but the match itself was more successful and the person that she was wrestling with came out looking better as well. I remember when she was put in this position of the person who's going to have a good match with the new hyped up signing, the new shiny toy kind of thing, and it was Mariah May. When Mariah May was starting to like have her first like singles matches and her like showcase matches, I remember vividly her having a match with Queen Aminata, and everyone was talking about like how good Mariah May looked out of it, and Mariah May is going to be a future star and blah blah blah. And I remember thinking like Queen Aminata was the better half of that match. Queen Aminata looked amazing in this match, and she had a few more showings around that time as well. And this is like, we're talking over a year ago now. And I remember thinking that like Queen Aminata is somebody that they could push to be a serious somebody in this division. Like she's got all the tools, she's got a good confidence. She's got great presence. She's great in ring. Her promos come along. So she's got, it's all there, and this is, we're talking like 18 months ago, however long ago it was now. So to see that she's probably in a less of a position now, it's bizarre, bro. And to like Rob said, like she was grinding it out in Ring of Honor, wrestling wrestlers who, no offense to these women, because I don't think being any less than Queen Aminata is really a slight, because I do think that highly of Aminata, but wrestling a lot of women that just, she should probably be significantly above in the pecking order. Obviously, just being in the ROH for starters, I think Aminata is more than talented and has more than enough upside to be on AEW's and Tony Khan's main shows,
Right.
It's like just looking at a recent record, it's like it's a lot of Ring of Honor, as Rob was already pointed out. She did the job for Thekla. She did the job for Tony, which obviously I don't think that's actually too much of a slight. It's Tony Storm and whatever. And then she had that little trilogy with Julia Hart, which she lost. She lost that 2-1, but she did get a win over Julia Hart on TV, I guess. I mean,
I remember it.
No, she lost the feud though. Do you know what I mean? It was one of those.
That's the thing,
Like,
she lost the damn feud, so it didn't really matter.
So they did like a 1 month trilogy, and it's like Queen Aminata won the second match. So. And she hasn't really been. Basically, my point is that when you look at it, she hasn't really been used to do anything meaningful or of note, or anything to really help herself. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's always in positions like she was in last
Sandwiched
night.
in between the Serena D feud everyone forgot about like 7 months ago.
Oh God,
She's the same age as Mercedes. Somebody just mentioned in Black Yakuza mentioned in chat. She's the same age as Mercedes.
Didn't she? No, she lost the last match against Serena Deeb, didn't she?
Yep.
Yeah.
So she didn't even like win that feud, bro. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's.
And they kind of dropped it, picked
let me
it back
just
up,
double
and
check
doing like the
this
whole
on
like
Cage
pure
Match, bro.
tournament thing, which no one cares about. It's weird.
Yeah, Serena Deeb defeats Queen Aminata in 10 minutes on AEW Collision on the 21st of September of last year.
Then they like kind of picked it up.
Yeah,
and,
so
like,
even like the
remembered it.
Mercedes, like, she had a match with Mercedes at the end of last year in October, and it's like it only went 8 minutes. It's like everyone knows. I think most of the people on this channel will know that I'm definitely an advocate of shorter TV matches and just shorter matches in general across the board, bro. But I think if you're gonna book someone like Queen Aminata, someone as capable as Queen Aminata, in a title match against Mercedes Moné on TV, you gotta let them go past 10 at least, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, actually let them flesh out a proper match. You know what I'm saying?
It's just mad frustrating, and like, this is not like oh, AEW's booking is so fucking bad. So like, don't fucking start whining right in the chat. Like, but it's like, son, I would be frustrated too. I would be mad frustrated too. And it's just like, obviously, I wouldn't be frustrated to the point where I'm like walking off and like no selling the finish or whatever. But it's just like, bro, she already had to put over one mediocre white woman when she started in the fucking company with Mariah May. Look, Mariah May don't even work there no more. She did all that work to put over Mariah May like 3 different times.
That ain't even her name no more.
She don't even name Mariah no more. So it's just like you know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm not about to sit here, and I'm not saying she should leave. I'm not saying she should go somewhere else because I think AEW is a place for someone like Queen Aminata. But it's like you have to make her Queen Aminata feel like AEW is a place for Queen Aminata, and right now they're not doing such a good job at that.
I think
It's one of the things you gotta be careful with because at some point, like you're not gonna want to be in the role of pin eater on TV forever, especially when you're more talented than people you're taking pins to. You get all the time, so it's just like move people up, move people down.
Yeah, so I just think Aminata's worth so much more than like, pushed on Ring of Honor but pin eater on TV. Like. I think she's way above that, bro. I think she's genuinely probably one of the best talents in the division, to be honest. I'd say comfortably top 10. Comfortably.
Yeah, I don't think it's close. Top 10 is very
probably, mate. Probably not top 5 because it is. Who we got? We got Mercedes, Chris, Willow, Tony,
yep. Jamie, if you want to put her up there.
I was still really rate Jamie, especially after the Mercedes match. She showed me something, brother. She showed me something again. Who else in the AEW division that you'd put next to Queen Aminata, better or similar level? AEW roster. Here we go. We're doing this now.
Genuinely not many because the ones I would aren't even on TV right now. So it's like,
okay, so Mercedes. We got the big four. The big four is Mercedes, Tony, Willow, and Stat. That's the big four. Athena's not on TV, so that don't count. She's better than Deonna Purrazzo. She's better than Harley Cameron. She's better than Shida. She's better than Julia Hart. A lot of these aren't on TV. I think she's a better wrestler than Megan Bain. But obviously, I understand why a booker might push Megan Bain over her because Megan Bain has a lot of appeal. But again, I do think Aminata is a better wrestler than Megan Bain. I think she's better. I think Queen Aminata is a better wrestler than Mina Shirakawa. I think she's a better wrestler than Nyla Rose, Penelope Ford. Riho, we never see her. Ruby Soho's off on maternity. Serena Deeb is
it's 2025
OG. Sky Blue, Tamerlite. Bro, she might be the 5th best wrestler in this division out of like people who are like active that you can just call and get on a show. Because other people would be like Yuka and Riho, who obviously for obvious reasons that I was gonna say that we're already used to with AEW. We don't see them every week, so
you genuinely could talk yourself into her being top 5 just off people who are like.
Yeah, you could. Especially like recently because like I said, Jamie, she was off for a while and she came back, she wasn't really getting much opportunities and she wasn't really like demanding them as much. But I think like I said, after that Mercedes match I've seen enough, I think. So
and no, we're not down to Sheeta nod. It's 2025, bro. I like Sheeta, but she's on the decline.
Thunder Rosa, nah, bro. Thunder Rosa's not a better like. She's not better than Queen Aminata anyway. I like Thunder Rosa as well. Another one I do like Thunder Rosa, bro. And I am interested to see her potentially turn heel. Hopefully she gets a match somewhere in the Texas plans, But I hear what you're saying, but she's very. I like Thunder Rosa, bro. I always have. I remember being.
She's cool.
Yeah, then like you know what it is with Thunder Rosa as well. Like I kind of developed this kind of like I'm always gonna like kind of root for her because when the narrative online was like, she don't want to do this, she don't want to do that, and Britt Baker this, Britt Baker that. Like when the narrative around her got really nasty, and people were like, a lot of the perception was siding with like Britt Baker, and Thunder Rosa didn't want to, she don't want to drop the title, she don't want to do this, she don't, you know what I mean, and all those weird things. I never, I always kind of sided with her on those
Wait,
kind
who?
of things,
Who?
Who
So
that?
You said what? You said who?
I ain't heard
We
that.
don't know who that
the
is.
name that
somebody new?
can't be named.
We don't know. We don't know who that is.
Fault.
I don't.
Yo,
I
can't- yo,
don't
can't
recall
be-
that name
yo,
at all.
I can't
Bro.
be here when y'all saying that, bro. I'll be back.
Hey, you just gonna leave me?
But
I can't be here when y'all saying that name, bro.
anyway, my point is, I've kind of got a. I'm always gonna root for Thunder Rosa, so I'll probably never be as harsh as I should be on her. But I still like her. I definitely think Aminata's better than her though. Jamie, I'd give the nod to be honest, over Aminata because of the credit she's got in the bank. So yeah, I'd say Aminata probably lands at 6, which, considering her role in the division, is it's kind of crazy.
It's one of the things where you have to actually watch the matches and be like, damn, she better than this person. And you see it very often.
Hey man, we just we just telling y'all, man. Some people, some people on this roster, you know what I mean. You got some real frauds on this roster. We're gonna name them soon. Don't worry.
Coming soon.
Hashtag talk soon.
Amari 316 V2 Fed fans in 2035 quote, remember King Corbin? That shit was fire, bro. Hashtag WWE 2019 cooking. Yeah, there'll be someone out there doing that shit.
Son, I was watching. I don't remember what I looked at this for, but I remember I watched. I think I watched the NXT that started it, the Wednesday Night War the other day. So I was like, man, you know what? I'm feeling curious today. Let me go look around at all the season premiere shows from every like that week. Remember, because it was like a whole season premiere week. It was like Raw, SmackDown. So I was like, man, let me go look. And I was like, oh boy, I should not be here. Yo, I looked at SmackDown. The first thing I saw on SmackDown was King Corbin in the ring with The Rock, and I said, yo, I am out of here.
Enough of this.
I said, I am
Enough of
Anybody
this.
watching? Anybody who's actively watching like religiously in 2019, brother, why would you do that to yourself?
No, because you know what I was looking at? I was looking at all the season, like when WWE was changing channels. So then I went and looked at like the last SmackDown on Sci-Fi, like that they did, because I was like, what did they do on the Smack? Like, did they do a tribute to SmackDown on Sci-Fi or something? And I was just like looking around, and I was just like, man, I don't want to be here.
You should know by now, Marcus, that Rob's curiosity is
I know.
My curiosity takes me far.
sick part of his mind.
Yeah, my
you know?
curiosity takes me far. Oh man, I fuck around and get lost in 2015 SmackDown. It's I'll just sit there. I'll
So
sit there for
random,
hours.
This man, when we doing like watch alongs or anything like that, this man will have us watching entire
yeah.
pay-per-views from like
We gotta see everything.
2012
Listen,
TNA.
I know. Listen. I know we're looking for a match, but we got to see everything, brother. We got to get the whole experience. You know what I mean? We got to get the whole vibe, man. You know?
We watched
Y'all not
entire
trying to
2000 WCW pay-per-views before.
Y'all not trying to relive 2014 WWE? Y'all
No!
not fucking with that? Oh, my fault.
No!
My bad. My
But yeah,
bad.
anyway, enough of Rob's curiosity and Fed watch
Nah,
alongs
but-
and all that.
Jeez.
No, but I skip around now. because sometimes even I'll be like, yo, this is embarrassing. I need to leave.
Fair.
I'd be like,
Fair.
I need to leave.
Very
Your fault, by
fair.
the way.
But yeah, the point I think all three of us were making in this hilarious 10-minute, 15-minute discussion that Queen Aminata is very good. I didn't even mean to put that on screen, but
Yeah, I don't know.
relevant point.
I don't know.
Lacey Evans got more TV time than Aminata. Yeah, she definitely did. Vince was very fond of Lacey Evans, bro. So she got more TV time than most people. But I wonder.
Yeah, I'd be having to me too. I'll be trying to scroll down. I'll be accidentally clicking shit. I'll be like, what the fuck? Take this off the screen.
But yeah, Queen Aminata, Thekla. What I will say is, fuck it. The Thekla thing's very interesting to me because I don't think that so let's look at it from the perspective that she has been brought in as like a hyped up new big signing for the women's division. You know what I mean? Like they were doing teases and stuff, and obviously like her rollout, and you know what I mean. She's having like she's getting like strong wins against good wrestlers, blah 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 blah. You know, so like they're clearly bringing her in as like a pushed, hyped new signing. So from that perspective, and I don't think Thekla's a bad wrestler or anything. I actually think she's pretty decent, but I'm not seeing it, bro. Like I'm not seeing. I don't think from what I've seen very little of her in Stardom. Obviously, I've got a lot of friends that are into that promotion. I'm very aware of the perception of Thekla coming out of Stardom and blah blah blah, and what the narrative has been around her. So I'm aware of Thekla and I know what she's like, but I don't think, for how good she is and for how big of a name she is or isn't, I don't think she lives up to this kind of push coming into the promotion, you know?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like because bro, Tekla was never really a Stardom main eventer. She was kind of like mid-card, upper mid-carder, you know what I mean? Like she main evented some like she did some stuff in the main event. She was never really like like, you know what I'm like, Julia levels of like main event. Like, yeah, she was her tag team partner, but like, you know what I mean? Like, she was never, and it's just like not. She's being pushed on the level of like the other Stardom main eventers, some of the other Stardom main eventers that they've brought in, like Mina. So it's just like, you know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah, she's been brought in, I think, as a bigger deal than Mina. But obviously, Mina had like credit in the bank because she'd already done appearances, so it was like they couldn't do like the big out of the gate kind of push, I guess, that they've done.
All I know is when you eventually bring in Starlight Kid, you better, or Azumi, you better push her the same way. You better push her the same way.
It's like a few people have said in the chat, like, oh, it's only been 2 minutes. It's only been 2 matches for relax. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying like that she's stinking it up or anything right now. What I'm saying,
Jamie Hayter.
Y'all can't tell niggas that have seen Tekla's latest work in Stardom like relax. Nigga, we seen her work.
Yeah, so my point is, the point isn't even that anyway, bro. My point is more kind of like the size of her name and the way that they've brought her in doesn't like they're bringing her in like they've signed like Stardom's fucking top star or something, and she was never that. You know, she was never that. Then as far as like how good she is as a talent, again, I'm somewhat aware of. Well, I know that she was doing pretty well. Then they did like the heel stuff and like the stuff that she was doing very recently, and a lot of fans did not like that. But obviously, I'm not here to judge her off stuff that wasn't praised very much, and they were doing like different things, and she was having like feuding with management, and they were doing that kind of stuff. So I'm not gonna judge her too much as a wrestler off that. But even if I'm basing it off her, what she was doing when she was doing stuff that was more well received by fans, even still, it's not like they've just brought in former World of Stardom 2-time champion, you know, or something like that, or some like I've never seen the timeline jumping up and down over a Thekla match or anything like that in the few years that she's been on my radar. So that's more my point, is that like they've brought her in like they've just signed fucking Mayu Iwatani or something. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like she's nowhere near that. So. But that being said, when you say like, oh, it's only been 2 matches, chill, I'm more than open to her just like going above and beyond and proving that she is a talent of that level and deserving of that sort of position and that push when coming into a promotion like AEW. I'm more than willing to like let that play out and happen. But so far, just I don't see why she's been kind of positioned so prominently, unless Tony or other powers that be have seen kind of something that I'm just not seeing. You know,
her entrance. I will say her entrance is fire. The way she carries herself coming down to the ring, that like is the presentation of a star. Obviously, that's she's a star in the entrance like presentation realm, because everybody that comes from Stardom. Like, Stardom is one of Stardom's biggest things is presentation, so you don't really feel on that aspect coming in from Stardom. But
she's like pretty ordinary in the ring, but like she does carry herself well. And on American
She
TV,
does.
I guess that'll carry a little bit farther. But again, she is very much not as good as her push. But she's fine. Emphasis on the word fine.
Yeah, like I said, it does feel like they've positioned it and presented it and framed it like, oh, we've just signed a good one from Stardom. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've just signed the one from Stardom, and it's like,
Nah, the
have
funniest
you?
thing when she
You know?
debuts, they're like, she got fired from Stardom from beating up the president. So naturally, they decided to sign her to a contract to your company. And Taro Khan was like, "Hey, she our problem now."
Yeah, it's just kind of something that I've not even to shit on her or anything. Like I said, I do actually think she's like a pretty decent wrestler. I'm more than
She
happy
is
to kind of let this
fascinating
play out.
in that
But
regard.
yeah, just kind of interesting. I would be interested to know how they came to the conclusion to like give her this push, you know. And that's not me saying that she shouldn't be getting it or anything like that. But yeah, like I said, it does feel like they're hyping it up like they've just brought in fucking, you know, Mayu or something, or they got Julia, or do you know what I mean? Because like obviously I know Julia's got a split opinion a lot, especially like in ring and shit like that. But like if we're talking like name value and that, do you know what I mean? Julia was the it girl in Stardom for like a hot minute, so yeah. Anyway, GMB.
Anywho,
If TK signs Dakota, is she gonna snatch QA's chain, Queen Aminata's chain? She best not.
No, I mean, shit. I mean, everybody else is. So
I mean,
might
probably.
as well.
Oh,
I mean, at least she
yeah.
can wrestle, but the other ones, not so much. But
Son, that would be like. I mean, she can snatch her chain as the pin eater. I mean, she does. I mean,
that's
she's
what I would
already
have her
used to
do.
doing that anyway. But she's not. They're not going to do that. They're not going to bring somebody in from WWE and immediately make them a pin eater, or make them a pin eater in general. I think that she's going to be brought in. Dakota Kai, though, I feel like she could have. She's one of the better wrestlers that they could bring in. That because she can give people a good match on TV. So that's the thing. Like,
No, I just looked at the AEW women's division, and I don't think the division's terrible or anything, but Dakota Kai ranks pretty high in that division as well.
it's
to be
like
honest.
like she's higher than a lot of people they bring on.
Dakota's
TV that
good,
you know, so-
man.
yeah.
Oh,
No. Well, I never thought she was bad. It's just that her fan base was so fucking annoying.
okay.
It's just like
She
like,
wrestled in WWE. She's always gonna have some fans. Like
That's
that,
why I
you know?
started trolling her
It's
fan
like-
base, calling her a 40-year-old e-girl.
which I mean, you know,
Come on, man.
I mean, it's true. I mean, I don't know why people.
yeah, like he lying.
I don't know why people
So see,
are
like
looking
I
at
would
that
probably
like,
just
oh.
replace her and Aminata in roles because one, the youth, and Aminata has healthy knees. Last I heard, so you know,
And Dakota Kai's been she's been okay recently. She's been okay, yeah, recently, bro. She's
Check back in
you know,
2 months.
it's all when we're talking about talent that have had a history of injuries, though, it's all about what you've done lately, and it because it's like if you're on a good run of fitness and you've kept yourself fit for a while, then it's like, you know what I mean, good for you, you know. But yeah, Dakota Kai, I think must sign is a bit strong, you know, but I'd sign her. I'd definitely sign Dakota, and try and figure out because she can do anything. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, she's very experienced, so she can have the matches with the young girls if you want. She can put people over. She could definitely work as a push talent as well. I think the fan base would fuck with that. She can do tag stuff. She can do character stuff. She can do She can wrestle. She can do. You know, I'm sure she would love to do a hardcore match with Tay J or some shit. You know, like she's one of those Swiss Army knife wrestlers, bro. But I think AEW should always snap up, to be honest. But yeah, so shout out to Dakota. What did you guys think of Ospreay versus Swerve? Then 30-minute draw, time limit draw, the second AEW match. I think it's like their third or fourth match that they've had throughout their career, though. Yeah, man, obviously the first match, it was a high bar to live up to. It was on pay-per-view. I don't think it would have been a realistic bar to set for this match, but obviously they had a go at it during the 30-minute draw. I liked parts of it. I don't think it peaked as high as their last match, you know, but nonetheless, I thought they had a really good opening match, man. And obviously they did the angle with the Death Riders and them after, so. But yeah, man. Rob, you went wide-eyed then. But what did you make of the match? What did you make of the 30-minute draw, bro?
Yo. Somebody, I think it was Ash that said this, but truly, Will Ospreay and Swerve matches are the most fun matches because they feel like they feel like the most action movie shit ever. Like these two are like the chemistry that they have in the ring, like it's quite insane because a lot of friends in wrestling don't have this same kind of chemistry. A lot of friends in wrestling don't have this kind of chemistry that they have. It's very hard for friends in wrestling to have the kind of chemistry that Ospreay and Swerve have. But luckily, they are the lucky pair that have the great chemistry that they do. I knew this was going to go to a draw. I just didn't know how long the time limit draw was going to be. I thought Ospreay was going to get his win back, but truth being told, neither of these guys can really lose like that before going into All In, to be fair. So it's kind of like I knew on that front alone, like neither of them was going to lose. And the stories that they told in this match was fantastic, bro. Just like Swerve's just like, bro, I'm one up on you. I'm better than you at everything. And I like the fact, what I love in sequence matches, like one match, two, match three, match four, match five, so on and so forth, is I love the story that's told when, okay, you did this move to me last match and it worked and it damn near beat me. So now I know how to counter it because I've wrestled you so many times. And I love when people like Swerve and Ospreay do it. I love when Okada and Omega do it. It's fantastic, bro. I like the fact that Swerve used the Deadeye. That was fire.
That was hard. That shit was hard.
Especially with what we got later on in the night with Hangman being like, yo, stop fucking with Swerve or I'm going to kill you.
That shit was crazy.
It was so I loved it, this match, man. I hope man, these two could wrestle for the whole 4 hours and I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't care.
Yeah, it's good shit, man. But yeah, like you said, the storytelling as well, Rob. Like I thought in the first few minutes, like man, almost like the first half, like Swerve was kicking the shit out of Ospreay, bro. He was
beating his ass.
Yeah, he was
busting his damn nose up and everything.
One upping him at every opportunity, and was just generally just beating the shit out of him, really. And he made Will Ospreay have to like rise to him, you know. And I think they set a really good pace. I thought the 30 minutes genuinely did fly. The closing stretch of like finisher spams and near falls was like a lot, you know. it was a lot, but the crowd did love it.
Shout out Portland for that.
Dave and Brian bring this up every fucking single time it happens in an AEW match, but they're right. The time call, the way that AEW manage the time calls is like beyond amateur, bro. It's fucking crazy. You can't just let a match go 29 minutes and then go 60 seconds left. Like, what the fuck? Or just not do it at all and just have the bell ring. And it's like, they never settle on how they're going to do it. And the ways that they have tried to do it have always been weird. Like, bro, just start doing time. Just start doing time calls in title matches. No one's going to complain. 5 minutes have gone by. 10 minutes have gone by. 15 minutes have gone by. You know? But, but yeah, the match was really good. Marcus, I'm assuming you was a big fan as well.
Man, I was jumping up and down like P.D. Pablo on that motherfucker. I was so damn happy watching that match. But I do love the dynamic between Swerve and Ospreay, where Ospreay's like the most spectacular wrestler in the entire company, right? But Swerve is very firmly big bro. Like, and Ospreay just straight up says it every time he can. He's like, bro, you big bro, but I'm trying to win here. It is what it is. And then for like the first like 20 minutes of the match, like Swerve's just beating the dog shit out of him. Like relentlessly. He busts his fucking nose and everything. He's like he's avoiding all times on the odds cards. He threw him out the ring. Hal's calling the dog shit out of him. And Ospreay's coming back. He's trying to hit the Oz cutter like at least 3 or 4 times. He keeps getting caught. And then it's not until he finally shifted his fucking weight around that he got out of the damn arm breaker. That's where it kept putting him in every time he did it. It was like, dang, thanks, Will. You finally used your head. Took it long enough, but you know, the closing stretch was great. I really love the Swerve hitting the Deadeye, which is kind of called to Hangman hitting the big pressure in the Ospreay.
Yeah, man.
And Swerve is the fucking cop killer. That's all I can ask for. All I can ask for. Shout out Swerve for that. And also, I finally can get away from those Bret Hart hitting the damn turnbuckle videos every time I scroll around on Twitter, because Ospreay tried to hit a hidden blade and fucking ate shit.
That was a great spot.
That was a fantastic spot. I loved it. I ain't never seen him do that.
That was a great spot.
Yeah. And the way they got to the title was kind of obvious, though. But
well, first of all, Bret Hart fucking sucks.
Oh, come on,
So
bro.
it's
We
like-
didn't. No.
So it's,
no.
Ibu's not here, bro. We ain't got to do this.
Well, you the
what
next best
happened?
thing. It is what it is.
yo, Monty, I've been doing this thing lately where I'm like really good at rage baiting Ibu. I don't understand why. Like I say something, he gets like so angry.
You know what it is, Rob? It's
The fuck
because
you talking about, Rob? What the fuck you talking about,
because,
son?
bro, it's because Rob does the afternoon shows with him, and Ibu's all like grumpy and that in the afternoon, bro. That's what it is.
No. So yesterday I was in the court, right? I forgot what the fuck he was talking about, but no, we were talking about wrestlers he thinks are great right now, like who he loves and who he doesn't like, right? So he said, I like Swerve, I don't love Swerve right now. And he goes, I love Cody. So I said, of course, I get off mute and I say, damn, Ibu hates black wrestlers, y'all. He said I just said he likes Cody, he likes Swerve, and he likes Swerve, but he doesn't love him, but he loves Cody. And I said Swerve and Cody have done the same amount of nothing in 2025, by the way. And then he goes, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, what are you talking about?
The fuck you talking about, son? What the fuck you talking about?
You know what? I went in chat and I was like, let's go.
Nah. The funniest shit. There was the niggas talking about fucking Big Grip, Ryohei Oiwa. He was like, niggas out here talking about he's good, he's better than Takayama. Niggas out here talking. No one's saying that, Ibu.
No, the best time.
No one's saying that.
The best rage bait. Yo, I'm telling y'all right now, the easiest way to rage bait Ibu, just go 1997. WWF sucks. And watch,
Yes.
watch how mad he gets. He's like, Rob, you don't even watch. You talking about?
Listen, man, he's got a point.
Yo, what the fuck?
You know what? You want to use with Ibu, bro? He stands for something, you know. So
Yeah, oh my god, I was so lit. I was like, let's go.
Every time he does it, I'm just
I
like,
quite
yo.
literally in chat said, I'm about to rage bait Ibu again, y'all. Watch this. And I proceeded to do it.
It works every fucking time. Rage Bay complete.
Oh man. Shout out to
What a
Ibu,
beast.
man. Shout out
that's
to
the
Ibu.
Shout out to
business. But yeah, so yeah, they had this 30-minute time limit draw. It goes, you know, the bell rings, the crowd fucking hates it. I've already mentioned the time calls. Swerve grabs a mic and he's basically like, fuck that. You don't want to end it like that. I don't want to end it like that. Let's go again. And then Moxie's The Death Riders music hits. They come out. The fucking, you know, they attack the baby faces. They compromise. Swerve Strickland in the corner with the Young Bucks as well. They come out. They've got the spiky, the Reebok shoes, the Reebok Swerve collab shoes to pull them out of the bag. They've got thumbtacks on and they're setting Swerve up for the, the double super kick. And Will Ospreay jumps in the ring. He takes the bullet, accidentally headbutts Swerve on the way, but he takes the bullet, you know. He takes the bullet and we respect that. And the crowd reacts to it. It's like, oh. And then after... way after, literally like 3 hours later on Collision, there was the backstage segment with the Bucks and Hangman, where the Bucks were like, you know, like, yo, don't mess this up, don't mess up this world title shot, you know what I mean? Look at all the stuff that we've been doing for you, we're trying to help you, blah 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 blah. Hangman was basically like, yo, stay out of my business, stay out of Will Ospreay's business, and stay out of my business. I don't want your help. I didn't play nothing with you. And if you don't stay out of our business, including Swerve's, the next time I burn down the house, I'm going to trap you guys in it first.
You missed it. He's like, because these niggas were like delusional. Like these niggas was like, yeah, bro, we helping you so you could bring the world title back to the elite. And this nigga said, nigga, what are you niggas talking about? I said, bro, I haven't talked to you niggas in months. I said, yo, I would actually, he said, actually, I would prefer if you niggas leave me the fuck alone.
He's like, y'all are on dick.
He's like, bro, why are you on my dick, bro? We don't talk. Stay away from me, freak.
What's wrong with you people? Like, last time y'all brought me back, y'all did it against my will, basically. What the fuck? Ain't no fucking elite
'cause
no more. Yo, O'Connor left y'all niggas 2 hours ago.
wasn't Hangman under
Literally.
suspension or something? Wasn't he on suspension?
They suspended him and then brought him back for the Owen.
They suspended my nigga this one. Damn.
And then they blackmailed him so he could be in Blood and Guts.
Yeah, Hangman should have brought that up yesterday, to be fair. Because that is like a huge hole in their logic that they're trying to get off. And obviously they're heels and they're delusional, and it's the whole fucking point that they're wrong, you know? But Hangman could turn around and be like, bro, last time I spoke to you, you suspended me. Like, what are we talking about? Do you know what I'm just like, what are we even talking about right
You
now?
want to be on my dick? Like, what?
It's like, damn, zip me up.
But yeah, man, Hangman's not listening to that bullshit. And obviously, when he said, when he was telling people to start everyone's business, when he was telling the book to start everyone's business, it was very deliberate the way that he phrased it. You know, he was like, stay out Osprey's business, stay out my business, and then at the end he was like, and stay out Swerve's business, and the crowd was like, oh, oh, and then it cuts to Swerve's locker room. No, he's in the doctor's room. Swerve is, I think, and Prince Nana's observant. He's like, you hear that, boss? And Swerve heard it. So we'll see how the developments go in Hangman Swerve. Law, friendship. Haters turn to lovers, whatever the fuck they're trying to do with Hangman and Swerve,
Temporary reconciliation. How you want to frame this?
Yeah, it's good shit.
Band together.
It's good shit. Yeah, it's good shit.
And Osprey doing the whole kumbaya thing and why can't we be friends thing for like the last 3 weeks, like paid off with him taking a bullet for Swerve. It's like, yo, nigga, shut the fuck up, actually. Like, no, I'm not working with that, man. It's like, we gotta work together, bro. No.
Yeah, he did come off a little bit crazy and all this, but
yeah. But then him actually physically
yeah.
taking the bullet for him and actively like showing I am ready to sacrifice, I'm ready to get down, do what I gotta do. That does go a long way in getting Imperial people to come together. So actually, like leading by example, which is something that like Darby like actively wanted him to do, like before all this shit went down. And
yeah, it's good
no
shit.
callback.
I thought all that stuff. I thought everything we mentioned really has been pretty well done. My only real criticism was like that the size of the gap between those two segments that I just mentioned. I
mean, Hangman got hogtied before that, so
Well, he had a long night, didn't he, Hangman? Let's talk about that. So Hangman was meant to talk on, was it Collision or it was Dynamite?
It was on Dynamite.
Yeah,
Before that, like he came out like the very beginning of the show, like with Christopher Daniels and shit. He was like, "Bro, niggas, you gotta watch your back, bro. Like, there's a lot of niggas in the locker room that still don't fuck with you like that because obviously what you did, blah blah, and you gonna need help. You can't do this by yourself." And Hangman was like, "All right, cool, I got you, cool, bet." Walks out. And then fucking John Moxley just in the cut just appears out of nowhere, and they stalk him while going into the arena
like a comedy villain.
Yo, that shit was funny. That shit was funny as fuck. How Hangman just walked in and Mox was just like, loser.
You fool!
He was like, this fucking Mark don't even know how he about to take this nigga.
He was like,
yeah.
Damn, bro. It was fast as fuck too. I didn't even notice that nigga was standing there, and all of a sudden he just turned around. I was like, oh shit, because I didn't see Hangman at the beginning of the show. I didn't see Hangman walk by before he turned around. So I was just like, why is Mox slowly walking like this? But then I looked further down. I was like, oh shit. I was like, no.
Nigga just walking menacingly like he a bastard in disguise.
I was like, yo, Hangman, please.
I was like, they finna take this nigga back.
Well, they did. They hogtied him, bro. Hangman's music hit, and we all thought he was gonna come out and cut some triumphant, fired up, exciting promo about how he's gonna win the world title and restore order to AEW and restore order to the world and all that's right in the world or whatever. Yeah, and nah, bro, he couldn't even walk out there, bro. They hogtied him, bro. The cable
hogtied him.
The cable tied his hands behind his back, and his mouth was taped, and they threw him out onto the ramp, and they were just kicking shit out of him. And then they get him into the ring. This is who was actually kicking the shit out? He's got Claudio and Yuta, I'd assume.
Claudio and Yuta,
yeah. Claudio and Yuta were the ones actually doing it, and they throw him into the ring. Moxley appears. cuts a promo on Page, and he did make me laugh. His delivery at the start, where he's like, "Sorry, I had to do this," but I want to make
It's
sure.
like my fault, bro. It is what it is.
It's not my fault, as he's literally like hog-tied in the middle of the ring.
He's like, my fault, bro. I just had to make sure you knew. He said, I just make sure you had to know it could happen to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be walking around backstage free, like,
You can see that like this is a fucking train exercise.
That was basically the gist of the promo as well, but it was just like, yo, you think you can just walk around comfy, He's like, I wanted to make sure we did this so you hear me loud and clear, And he just
put the nigga in active shooter drill.
he just emphasized the stakes for Hangman Adam Page, and then eventually he was what did he do? He fights back at one point, doesn't he?
He headbutted him.
He hits a nasty headbutt, bro. And then he tries to fight back, and then that doesn't go well. And then they go to like put a chair around his neck, and they're gonna do him dirty. And then the Ops come out. They make the save. Samoa Joe, always a good time when Samoa Joe's out there. Hangman finally gets untied, unbound, and he gets on the mic. And he gets on the mic, and he cuts a really fired up, shouty babyface promo. The crowd is fully behind him. Fully loved it. Very, motivating for the AEW, the AEW loyalist. It's good shit, man. It was a really good angle, very well executed angle. Again, I'm saying again that I do think most of the Mox stuff post Cope has been pretty good, to be honest.
It pains me to say that, I can't lie.
It is what it is, bro. Like, I was never as down on it as you guys and a lot of guys on our channel, but I was down on it. Like, it's not like I was one of those people saying, Mox is killing it, actually. The Death Rider's killing it. No.
You had to understand, son. Like, it was just, that combined with Jeff Jarrett and MJF 15-minute separate promos on the show, and it was just
dark.
I do think it is kind of funny that the main problem that people pointed out at the start is now like turned to be true, if that makes sense. Like, so when they first started and they had all like the mid card and the jobbers chasing the Death Riders, people were like, why the fuck would we care? This is shit. Why are we doing it like this? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, now that we're in this, I guess I don't know, you want to call it the last chapter, or a lot of fans are hoping it is the last chapter, and we've got Ospreay, we've got Swerve, we've got Hangman, we've got these men involved. It's like, it just takes it to another level, bro. Just from the start, do you know what I mean? It's like, then obviously you work on the angles and stuff like that, but, if you're going to do like a company-wide heels taking over and he's going to take the belt hostage angle, it's like, you can't be having John Silver chasing him in a car. Do you know what I mean? Like, it needs to be your real. Bro, remember that screenshot? Man, still post it now of like the baby faces outside waiting for Moxley to get to the arena, and it's like the Dark Order and that, bruv. And it's like, man. So I mean, Dark Order was like part of this storyline as well, like for like weeks.
When it started,
like
and it
multiple weeks.
When it was started. And it was Private Party and DG, it made sense because it was like, okay, these are the like real OGs that like the fans actually like kind of care about. But then it just like they were like, yo, Dark Order, right, guys? That's AEW. We were like, whoa.
Slow down.
Yeah. Nah, Rob's right, bro. Like, DG.
It is low-key kind of funny that Orange Cassidy promo, like during like that feud, is like, these guys, they're not ready for this shit, and they're immediately proven right.
Yeah, even Orange Cassidy was like, yo, I can't lie, bro. I kind of suck. He's like, I can't. Whatever you think I can do,
2024.
I can't do.
Late 2024, 2025, Orange Cassidy was not somebody that was like as great as Orange is. Like I said, at the point he was at, it was never a thing or a thing where you could really believe in him to, you know what I mean, to like be the guy that saves AEW, it would just never, whereas like now you've got three, you got three, a lot of people thought Swerve was going to win at was it Dynasty?
It was Dynasty,
yeah. A lot of people thought Swerve, but a lot of people thought he was, and a lot of people thought he should, probably more people thought that he should have won at Dynasty.
It was more should than he would.
Yeah, and so he was a very viable, very, very viable guy stand across from this version of Moxley. Hangman, obviously, especially now that he's won the Owen as well. Then Ospreay, obviously, he's like as obvious as he gets, you know. So, you know, and like Samoa Joe, even like Samoa Joe, bro. Like, yeah, I get. I wouldn't class him as like one of their top most important stars the same way as a Hangman, Ospreay, and a Swerve. But
There's a cool factor.
yeah, it's fucking Samoa Joe, bro. You know, like that.
Like him and the Ops are cool and they're tough. They don't take any shit. They've beaten them.
Yeah, man.
Box out.
And you know, yeah, the Ops just he does work as a group. You know, you got Powerhouse Hobbs. You know, there's just more ingredients to work with. What else from Dynamite? And then we got.
And one more thing, like these angles work well because for one, Heyman Page didn't look like a fucking pussy because he actually fought back and got the last word in instead of if this were January, right? He would have gotten beaten down for an extra like 10 minutes, not gotten a single word in, and it would just ended. Like he actually looks like someone who's a threat. He looks like someone who's a big deal. He's treated as someone who's just not gonna take any shit from them, even with them outnumbering him, and the people backing him up are to be taken serious. So like that's the biggest improvement, especially if this is the end of it. If this truly is the end, the retroactive and the Death Fires were good actually. Stuff is going to be unbearable, but the ending was good. If this is what it's going to be.
I mean, you know what though? Like, I don't even think it would be that unbearable, bro. Because I think retrospectively, or when you're looking at it, you are gonna skim through something like the stuff that you class as less significant. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of the stuff that was less significant in this storyline arc, whatever you want to call it, was the bad stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like
a lot of it was bad. That's the problem.
Do you know what I mean? So like, if you was watching it retrospectively, you would be forgiven for thinking that like, I don't know, people were just overreacting to the Cope stuff not delivering. Do you know what I mean, or something like that? Because you know, even when it was bad, Mox has had his moments of like, because it's bro, a talent is. No, I think Mox is a great talent. You know, one of the great talents of his generation. You know, and it's like he's still like, yeah, a lot of his promos have been nonsense, but a lot of his promos have been fire as well, bro. So it's like it's, you know, and obviously just the general way that he carries himself is like fucking 10 out of 10. You know. He's got a great presence, even just the way that, you know, just his general, you know, his general aura, if you want to go there. But
well, I don't think I want to go there.
But yeah, I got Max is a great talent, and even when this shit's been bad, he's still had his like good moments, you know. So, you know, like, bro, when he first turned heel, I thought his in ring was really good. Do you know what I mean? And then he got too cute with the Cope stuff, you know.
He tricked me too, huh?
Yeah.
He stopped doing everything like he was doing before the Cope stuff, and he was just like, "Yo, what if I like stop doing this? It became serious. Watch this."
Hey, you like that armbar transition he be doing? That ain't fire.
Come on, man.
Good, bro. I'm good,
on,
bro.
man.
I'm good. You good? We're good. We're good.
Everyone else is good, but in a positive way. TJ is back.
Yeah.
Tay Mello, Anna Jay, Tay Mello. Was this Tay Mello's first match back?
In AW, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought she looked pretty good out there, bro. A lot of people were pretty impressed by her looking the way that she did after.
She did.
Yeah, after so long off, a lot of people were impressed by the way she looked, man. Had a nice little tag match, obviously. TJ versus Meg Bain and Penelope Ford. They've got new gear as well. Penelope Ford and Meg Bain. They've got like matching gear now. Penelope's in like the whole Megan Bain. Yeah, man. It's a cool visual, bro. It is a cool visual.
It looks really good.
It's kind of cute. It's kind of cute as well. It's like mini Meg almost. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like so different from when they first started. Like Penelope Ford was just Penelope Ford. They're hanging out with Megan Bain for some reason. Now it looks like an actual, like, legitimate like team. It's really cool. Man. It looks really good for TV. And TJ, yeah, they're back. Ty looks really good. She looks. I had some 2021 flashbacks to some strikes she was throwing. I can't lie. I was like, damn, all those dark matches I watched to her when she was beating the dog shit out of jobbers. Hey, I hear those echoes again. When she threw them knee strikes, when she threw them forearms, I heard it.
Yo, you seen the other day on Twitter? She was like, "I'm watching Mad Puro right now, locked
Yeah, I
in."
saw that.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
She's like, I'm
Yeah,
watching
but I'm
Akiyama
glad.
right now.
I'm glad she locked in, son. I'm glad she locked in because now we can finally. I'm glad she finally locked in so we can have this conversation. Yo, the way she was looking at that starting match, I'm not talking about looks wise. The way she was wrestling, yo, that shit was crazy, son.
Bro, she looking wild.
I thought she was finished, son. Like I thought she was just done. And after that starting match, but like, thank God. So thank God she shook that shit off. 'Cause I thought it was over.
Yeah, 'cause she's a very unique talent, and she's a real good asset to AEW when she's looking like this, and she's able to like lock into this side of her and not trying to do like flips and not trying to do moonsaults stuff like that, like she was doing in 2022, which I still don't get. But not just beat the hell out of people, throw really good strikes, throw some great kicks, use your judo background, all that stuff, and you'll be fine. And I have some stocks in Ty. Thank God I ain't thrown
Good,
away
man.
after that starting match because Lord knows I was ready to do so.
Sometimes you gotta play the long haul, bro. I got a lot of respect for what you're doing there with your financial decisions, you know. And I guess whilst we're being nice, I thought Anna Jay looked really good in this. She looked really sharp, really motivated, was stringing a lot of her offense together. She just looked really good out there.
That's
All she needed was Ty Mello back, and she
That
like a decent
exactly.
wrestler.
That looks like when if they're finally introduced, that looks like what her role is going to be for the foreseeable future. That's her best role. Could be the AEW Women's Tag Team Division. Is like because like she's a decent singles wrestler. Like she's okay. Like she's not as bad as she used to be. Jesus Christ, she was horrible a couple years ago. But like that, she's okay in singles matches. But I think like well that happens with a lot of wrestlers, bro. Like Tony D. Tony D. fucking was like really good in tag matches, and he got a singles run. It was just like, yo, what's the only singles match he ever had that I liked was the Charlie Dempsey match, the first one for the whatever the fuck that cup is called. But yeah, like after that, I was just like, yo, go back to tag team wrestling, son. He looked pretty decent in the tag team setting, so that might be TJ's role. Not TJ. Anna Jay's role, for like the foreseeable future with their time in AEW is the tag division. That's not a bad thing. A lot of people niggas get in the Hall of Fame off the tag team championships. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah, being in the tag is nothing to look too down on. It's just obviously it depends on what different people want and what different people's aspirations are. I think as far as it comes to Anna Jay though, listen, I don't think Anna Jay is like a great wrestler or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna sit here
Yeah.
and say I've always thought she was great and she's one of the best wrestlers in the division and da da da. But what I will say is that I think this is more just kind of like fans of in more recent years, and it's because of the way the business is. I think when you consider that Anna Jay's basically entire development has been in Tony Khan's AEW system, and that is a system that isn't really built to develop talents like young female talents and stuff like that, you know. I think where she's at now, she's done pretty good for herself, to be honest, because she's got to a point now where she can have a TV match, she can have a tag match, and granted, yeah, she's not going to have like a standout singles match with like an average wrestler or anything like that, and she's not going to jump off the page as a singles wrestler, but she's got to a point now where I think she can pretty much hold her own, you know, and again, considering she's only been around for a few years and her entire development has basically been in the AEW system, which is not a developmental, and it's definitely not a developmental for young women to go and, you know what I mean, sharpen their tools. It's just not the system.
And you know what's
for that.
even wilder? Like when she got signed, she had 7 matches under her belt when she got signed.
Exactly,
7.
bro. And yeah, exactly. So, like I said, basically her entire development has been in this system, which isn't built for developing young female talent. So, granted, she isn't exactly, you know, of the level of the talents we was talking about earlier, like Aminata, Chris, Stat, Mercedes. Obviously, she's not there. Do you know what I mean? But I think just purely based off the fact that she's got to a point where she can hang, you know, in this amount of time she's doing good for herself, man. Because I think as fans in recent years, this is the point I was actually trying to get to. Like with fans in recent years, we're quite impatient with talents because it's new.
Monty, you muted yourself.
Brother, you are muted.
Yeah, my mic just randomly unplugged. I don't even think it's plugged back in. I might be using my earphones if I sound a bit different. Yeah, in recent years, we literally watch talents like basically their whole careers grow in front of us. Do you know what I mean? There's no, she's gonna do house shows for 2 years before we put her on fucking main event. Or do you know what I mean? There's like none of that don't exist anymore. Then obviously, again, to my point that I've already made, the AEW system especially doesn't really have that. And yeah, you can go to Ring of Honor, but that's different. You're still wrestling in front of proper crowds, in front of a live audience that's streamed and accessible anywhere. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I do think then whether it's Anna Jay, whether it's Jade Cargill, whether it's Tay Mello, whether it's like any of these like relatively new talents, I do think the modern wrestling fan is a little harsh because we almost expect, like, if someone don't show something within like a year or two, we're like, like, so, you know, sometimes that can just be a little harsh, you know, and sometimes it is important to remember that, like, this woman or man has only been, you know, there's only been around for 50 matches, 70 matches, whatever it may be, you know, so yeah, shout out to Anna Jane, kind of like getting to where she's gotten to in not the most ideal circumstances, you know what I mean? It's not like she's at the PC coming up with a bunch of other fucking under 30-year-old women, do you know what I mean? And learning a craft in a group, and even just having a PC that she can work out at, and having an NXT and an Evolve system where she can develop. Like, she's just been thrown into the fire and just, she's still alive, bro. She's still alive. She's still afloat. You know what I'm saying? So shout out Anna Jay again.
I do think it's funny, like, the match was built around, like, yo, remember that street fight we had?
Oh, bro, it made me laugh. It got mentioned a lot, didn't it? Everyone remembers it though, bro. They're just.
I was there for it. People like actively. Like,
yeah, it was at Daily's.
Yeah, like I remember when it got announced, people actively just rolled their eyes like, "Oh, brother, again." And then the match happened.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Then the match happened. People just were like applauding. I'm like, "Oh my god, this shit fucking rules." Lord knows I was one of them. I was like, "Damn, I didn't think they had this in them."
Yeah, man, it's that went crazy in that match, you know.
Yeah, a lot to say about professional pride there in that match because they went for it.
I love matches like that as well, like especially in like the women's division when they just show how game they are, you know. Mm-hmm. It's like, yo, we're about this life, you know.
Hey man, go ahead and run that back. Penelope and Becky versus Tajay, bro. I'll take it.
I mean, it's on. What's the bunny up to these days, bro?
They shit out the game.
I think she did retire, didn't she? But yeah, man, shout out the bunny, bro. Shout out the bunny, man.
She bled like hell that day.
But yeah, bro. But yeah, shout out to AJ, man. They both looked really good. I thought obviously I just did the whole fucking 5-hour shout out of Anna Jay, and then Tay Mello, of course, getting a lot of praise as well since last night. So really
first
happy
match in
to see
2 years
that.
on television. 2 years is a long time to not wrestle on TV.
Yeah, I was worried, bro. Like, you know when they're like, you know, after everyone makes their entrances, the music goes off and they're kind of getting ready to start the match. I was like, oh, I'm praying for Tay, man.
I was like, here goes nothing.
Literally,
the first strike came, she wrestled like someone who was just ready to finally just be let go. Like, she was ready. And the crowd was receptive to her. Like, they were all like happy for her to be back. And she fed off of it. You could very clearly tell that she was just so happy to be back in the ring. And she just did her thing.
Speaking of doing the thing, what was Mercedes doing last night? You know when she got in the ring with Tony and she like rubbed her face? I know.
I mean, Tony does it to everybody, so I mean,
I know, but Tony's more like blatant with it. Like, she'll just grab you by the cheeks and just fucking kiss you. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever the fuck. Whereas like this Mercedes thing, it had like a sensual weirdness to me. Like, it was
Because Mercedes could be sensually weird when she does things, you know? Mercedes be doing her thing. She be vibing. And then she came out, left the ring, and then just double and spun back and just beat the shit out of Tony.
Well, like leaned in like they were gonna like fucking French kiss, bro, and then just ended up like softly caressing her face. I was like, "Ooh, what's going on?"
She was getting the guard down. Then she beat her ass, said, kissed that belt goodbye, got greedy, ate her food, and then booked herself a match for Arena Mexico next week.
Yeah, she is. Speaking of Arena Mexico, Mystico versus Blake Christian was a pretty nothing match, to be honest. It was all about the angles and shit after. And also it's just kind of cool to see Mystico and, you know, you know them well, like, fuck it, Mystico, wrestle anyone.
It's like Mystico's not like what he was like even last year, but he's still so cool that it's really
Yeah, it's
good to
Mystico,
see him.
bro. But yeah, he beats Blake Christian, and then Hurt Business comes out. MJF starts cutting a promo on Mystico, and then that ends up breaking out to Hurt Business versus the Luchadors. At the end of that,
Jet Speed and Mascara Dorado. It was supposed to be
Mascara. He wasn't even Luchador. It was Mascara Dorado and Jet Speed. Like you just said, Speedball and Kevin Knight. Then after that match, MJF he compromises Mascara Dorado, gets him down, and he rips his mask off, bro. Fully unmasks him. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a thing where like, oh, he's been unmasked and we're gonna show his face. Obviously, he covered his face straight away, but like, getting heel heat, brother. You know, rips that mask off. The crowd's booing the fuck out of him. And I forgot to mention as well, when Hurt Business first came out after Mystico's match and MJF started talking, he got amazing heat, bro. Like the most heat that I've seen in a hot minute in AEW. So, yeah, shout out Portland. Shout out MJF as well. I think he's doing good shit at the minute. And people love to point out when he's not doing good shit, you get me? So,
I will say some of this stuff is starting to teeter a little bit. No, not a lot, but there are elements of this, especially with the whole, like, you know, bringing back the American gimmick. But I get why he's doing it. It's going back to Mexico. He's doing the whole foreign heel thing. It'll work for the target audience. It's just kind of insane to do, given, you know.
Yeah, and he was going back and forth. He was doing the whole, you know, American flag came down with the confetti. That did pop me though because he did it for like a 5-second pop. You know.
I'm just happy that they realized what part of America that they were in when they did this, because that whole loop before All In last year was in the fucking South, and them doing the American gimmick was crazy when he's trying to be the heel. He did it in Portland and he got booed out the building,
bro. Listen, I got scared. Like, when MJ came out and it was clear that he was going in that direction of like, oh, I'm an American, I'm an America, rah rah rah. Like, when he was going, I got fucking scared, bro. Like, I said it in the Discord yesterday. With the state of America lately, you know, when he started going down that America route, I was like, oh no, he's gonna say something.
Again,
he's gonna say something about ice. He's gonna do something crazy. Like, please just. And he didn't go too crazy. He leaned, you know what I mean? He leaned and he did his whole America's great shtick and blah blah blah. But
and they booed him.
And they boo him, and he got the heat that he needed to get out of it, and luckily he didn't want to and didn't need to go to any of the places that I was potentially worried about him going to.
Again, very happy they realized Portland is not fucking South Carolina. They're not gonna hear him for doing this stuff, because Portland is like a lot less tolerant of people being like weird about like jingoism in America. So good job them realizing the location of the show on that front.
Even in general, even not just in Portland, just in general, bro. Look, I don't want to see MJF go too far, being like the corny. Do you know what I mean? Like going too corny with it.
Chill out.
It's like last year or the year before when he was doing it, there was elements of it that I liked, and there was elements of it that just made me roll my eyes. Do you know what I mean? So
like, slow down, Max. You don't have to do this. It's kind of lazy, to be honest with you, but again, target audience, it'll probably work because it always does down in Mexico. It is what it is, but don't love it, but I get it. And Mystico, please tap him out.
So yeah, that match has been set up. It's official as well, people. MJF versus Mystico in. Is it are they calling it Dynamite? No, it's Grand Slam. But obviously it'll be Grand Slam Dynamite. So AEW Grand Slam Mexico is next week, people. CMLL, AEW, good business, bro. I'm excited for it, man. Obviously, MJF versus Mystico, that'll be a good time. Hopefully MJF locks in for that. I think he will because I think the Arena Mexico shit will. I think he'll get wrapped up in it. I can't lie.
Oh, he will.
Yeah, he's gonna get wrapped up in the Arena Mexico. I think he's gonna bring his working boots. We've got Zeuxis versus Mercedes Moné for the CMLL World Women's Championship. Interesting to see how they book the finish of that. Something tells me it won't.
Stop. It come with statement maker. It come with money maker, bro. You know she winning that shit. This is the greed the Bible was talking about, bro. All these damn bells and all the food you eat. That is greed.
I think they might do a weird finish, man. I think they might do a weird finish, but we'll see what happens. You know, I wouldn't write it off though.
Nigga, that belt ain't been defended in a minute, and them putting that belt on Mercedes and her just going back to Arena Mexico on Fridays and shit like that. It wouldn't be surprising if they just said, "Fuck it, you can have it."
But yeah, that's the only other singles match I think that's been announced. So we got 4 matches. The 2 that I just mentioned: Zeuxis versus Moné for the women's CMLL title. MJF versus Mystico, obviously that's a non-title. And then they have announced 2 huge tag matches. So we've got a 10-man tag. The Death Riders and the Young Bucks versus the Ops, Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland in a 10-man tag. That will be gas. It best be.
Big multi-man. I've been begging for years, bring the big multi-man tags back, and they're doing it again. I am so happy.
It's like this one's gas as well, bro. Like you've got okay, so you've got Hechicero, Cole Fletcher, Takeshita, FTR, Josh Alexander versus Bandido, Templario, Atlantis Jr., Adam Cole, Brody King, and Daniel Garcia in a 12-man tag in Arena Mexico.
Insane.
Yeah, both of those tag matches, like you got to remember, people. It's like I'm not crazy about like big 10-mans, 8-mans, and that. Obviously, it's very dependent on the talent involved. Especially like that first one looks crazy. It's stacked. But it's like, bro, you got to remember, you're gonna have like a big party tag in Arena Mexico. You know, like that's what you've got to do.
The vibes will be immaculate. They will be there for it. It's an AEW show transported to this building, one of the most historic buildings in wrestling. The Cathedral, Lucha Libre, like it's gonna be really cool. The fans are gonna be really into it. Like it'll be a good time.
I think it'll be one of the great AEW shows. I'll go out there and I'll put that out there into the world right now. To be honest, see what else I add to the card because I didn't mention this earlier, but this is gonna be not 4 hours next week, but it will be 2.5 hours next week. So we got a special 2.5 hour event next week. It will probably feel like an hour with the way the past 2 weeks have felt, you know. But
2 hours is always a sweet spot for AEW, and an extra 30 minutes, it's fine. I could do that. Besides, like that's how it was structured last night. The first 2.5 hours were the most important, and after that, it was basically just have fun. Here's a free Bandito Beast Mortos match. After that,
yeah, man. I think we kind of touched on most of the AEW topics, unless you guys have got anything else AEW related you want to talk about. Because, like I said, I don't like to do like the full reviews of every segment now. I feel like
there's not a lot of things to talk about. Like, there's cool things going on. Like, AEW is actually uploading full matches on their damn YouTube channel now. Thank God.
Yeah,
they're
I think Sean
uploading
did a report
the Hangman,
about that as well.
Kenny, and the Bucks tag from Revolution on there tonight.
Just double check something. You know what? It don't matter. Yeah, man. AEW is getting more active with the YouTube channel. It's about fucking time, to be honest. I think whoever's running that YouTube channel, like over the past few years, has done like a big disservice to them. You know. But yeah, if they can start uploading more like actually valuable content, like the full 3 matches and stuff like that, and you know, there's a lot of potential on that AEW YouTube account. Just look at WWE's fucking subscriber base. Obviously, even if AEW could get 20% of WWE subscriber base, it would be like fucking 30 million subscribers, I think. So, you know,
You got a whole vault of stuff on there. Just upload it on there.
Yeah, bro.
They're doing
Like,
no
this is-
commentary option in the bitch too, which is really cool. It's a really out of the box way to get people to like, scroll across and find these matches. Like, oh shit, this is what they're doing over here. And let me tap in. That's how people discover things these days, especially in a little bit below like our age range. That's how they discovered like stuff on the internet. Just scrolling.
100%, bro. No, the chat correctly points out as well. Bandido versus Mortos last night ruled. Yeah, it was
Hell yeah.
very good shoot. Bandido was the fucking man, bro.
That was just a standby match that Tony just booked out of nowhere. I was like, oh fuck, cool, thanks.
I like Mortos as well, but Bandido's the fucking man. Like, he's yeah. It's
always
such a
say,
shame
book
that
him
he
in
had
front of,
those injury issues. But,
Yeah, the injuries
you
could
know.
be stuff like book him in front of like 2,000 people, book him in front of 50 people, book him in front of 20,000 people. He's gonna get over every
Yeah,
single
he's a
time.
gangster, bro.
He's so great. I wasn't even offended by the outrunners being with him. That's how great he is.
Yeah. All right then. So guys, please like the video. Obviously, you've probably already seen that we've got like a little poll. I've got a pin message. I'm trying to encourage you guys to like the video because it does help us out a lot. Especially you guys that are watching on, what do you even call it, on demand, watching the replay. Please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment as well after the video finishes. Much appreciated. Marcus, Rob, any plugs this week? Talk to me.
Self-made tonight. Let me go pull up the Ebu tweet. I think he sent me the list. Actually, I could just pull it up.
You said that
Just
like
pull
you
up
was
the
going to
email.
cancel him, bro. I was like, let me pull up the
Trust me,
Ebu
if there was-
tweet.
Trust me, if I wanted to cancel Ebu, it wouldn't be tweets.
We got the Ebu files on deck. Don't worry.
It would not be tweets. All right. Tenryu and Kawada versus Gordy and Hansen. Shibata versus Jun Nakayama, the famous one from 05. Husky Harris versus Kaval, that is low key, from NXT 2010. AJ Styles versus Abyss, Lockdown 2005. Yoshihiro Takayama versus Kenta, and Megumi Kudo versus Combat Toyota. That will all be happening tonight in Self-Made at around 12:30 when Ibu gets off. So make sure y'all join Self-Made, join the Patreon. I need to create a shortcut on my computer for the Patreon, but I already have it linked right here. So make sure y'all join that right there. There you go.
Marcus, you got any plugs over the weekend?
Nothing over the weekend, but again, pull up the
Chris
self-made, watch
might-
along tonight.
Somebody said Chris might do an Ox battle. That nigga's dead.
He will not be there. The ox battle will be the sounds of him flushing his toilet.
That nigga's
Bro.
dead.
Man came back and you could hear like the bathroom echo.
Like what?
Yeah, I was like, yo, what's going on?
Bro was
He's
like,
like, ready to do an Ox battle? Like,
I was like, that nigga will not be there. Ain't no senzu beans from the pot, bro. He ain't gonna feel pull up. It is what it
he,
is.
he came back and you could hear the bathroom echo and him being like, oh, Monty, give Rob and Marcus my check tonight because I can't make it.
Okay, hashtag thank
God,
you,
yeah.
Chris. So,
Sorry, Marcus, go on. You plugs, anything? Talk to me.
self-made watch along, y'all know what it is. Pull up. We got real cool matches on deck in the night. And other than that, I'm cooling. Shout out LNG every time I'm on there. We like the fuse coming soon, whenever the fuck that is. Caden Lee, make the schedule. That's it.
Caden's not a real worker, bro.
Bro, this man wanted to change it to to watch a New Japan watch along for one night. I was like, brother, it's called Relight the Fuse, not relight the lightning mark. Like, what are we doing?
Relight the lion.
The roar of the
man,
lion.
Make sure you guys all tap into what Marcus is doing, what Rob's doing in Self-Made, what the guys are doing in Self-Made. Marcus appears up on there as well. Late Night Grin, all that good shit. I'm gonna try and be back at some point maybe tomorrow or over the weekend with Joe because we haven't done our show this week yet. So obviously we're gonna try and plan and do that. But what else? We got anything else planned? Trying to drag AO onto a show with me, man. You guys need to bully him. You know what I'm saying? He thinks he just tries to do that. He's too Hollywood, bro. He only wants to work with backup hangman. You know them ones.
He's a very busy man these days. He needs the right
I know
time,
what
the
he's
right
up
place,
to.
and the right
I
arrangements
know,
for
I
it.
know, I know what he's up to. I know what he's up to. He can't fool me. Anyway, so yeah, guys, tell AO you want to see him on the channel more, especially after Tuesday when they drew a huge house and I made loads of money. Nah, I'm joking. Actually, I haven't even checked. Bro, I was about to. I've just reminded myself to check how well the stream did.
Just let y'all know
Like
right
11
now,
it was like
Monty is paying the
11K.
people in company script.
Listen, people get
It was-
paid based on what they make. You know what I'm saying? So
It
Mhm.
was like
Mhm.
11K. It was like 11K in 24 hours. Like it was an insane number, son.
That shit
And
was wild.
that's like the power of y'all, bro. Like like that's the power of y'all. Like we wouldn't be able to do any of this without y'all. So we really thank y'all for that show.
yeah, man, got a great audience. With WrestlePurist and Self-Made. Just good shit. Even Late Night Grin, obviously, there's a lot of crossover there as well. We got love for you guys, man. You support us, you allow us to talk shit. And we're going to try and organise better ways of talking shit and better content of us talking shit, and we'll figure it out, man. So, always appreciate the feedback and all that sort of stuff and you guys supporting us. But that being said, like I said, I'm going to try and get something sorted with Joe for this weekend. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave us a comment, especially if you're watching on a replay. And we will be back. I don't know. I'm not sure when we'll actually be back, but of course, as always, I'll update the Twitter page. So again, thanks for watching. See you next time, and peace.